Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are reunited and it feels so good.
Not that reunited.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Kind of.
I mean, we're all on the podcast together.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're halfway across
where are
the
you?
country.
I'm all the way across the country, baby. I'm coming in from New York City.
In New York.
New York. We have Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions. He's got answers sometimes.
Fair enough.
Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinkerer of things. Oh, man, Van. He of the receding, very soon to be resurgent hairline.
Very soon.
And he is back.
Don't ruin that white
hat. The
hat.
pluck is dead. Coke, baby, Chuck, a.k.a. the brunch hottie, a.k.a. the 24-karat closer. Together, we are known as Wait. The collective is here with us. Aleya, S.O.B. Zenieris, Arjuna, Dawacha Ramgopal, also coming in from remote. He's not there either. He's somewhere else. He's talking about he got a headache. Get your ass up and go to work.
Oh, my God.
And then Jonathan Bishop Kermah. I'll tell you why he's Bishop. Because he's a black X-Man.
Okay.
You know what? I'll take what I can
Bishop's
get, man.
cool. Bishop is not.
Bishop's cool.
Bishop's cool.
Bishop's cool. All right.
Is more cool than
And
you
we
think.
need a big one. Together, pause. We are known as the Midnight Boys. All right. Follow us on socials: Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Jomi, I have a question for you. I'm not going
What's
to
up?
ask you how socials are going right now.
Okay.
Okay. At one point, I had about 206,000 followers on the old Twitter.
Okay.
That is now down to 199
Ouch.
Yeah.
because of the Blue Sky exodus.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is leaving.
Yeah.
The question for you, Jones Skittle,
Yeah.
is will there be Ringerverse Blue Sky?
Well, go search and find out if there is.
That's a soft yes, it seems.
Go do
No, don't search. Tell the people. See, this is what I understand about you. Half the time you get on here and you whore yourself for people to actually go to these different places.
And be like,
And
see the
then
link.
when I actually ask you whether or not we're going to be on Blue Sky, all of a sudden now you're the fucking Riddler.
Oh,
Hey, by the
Blue
way,
Sky
I
or
watched that
not.
movie last night. Stands up, man.
The Batman?
Stands up, man.
How
Yeah,
much time do you have
actually
on
it
your
does.
hands,
I'm not gonna
Joe?
lie. It's better.
The Batman's still
this
great.
is something.
It stands
We're going to
up.
mention this. The Batman was not a good theater experience for me. I'll be honest with you. I did not. But
Fair?
watching it at home, man,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
the Batman. And I think Penguin has done something for the show, too.
I'm going back on vacation, bro.
I think Penguin has done something for it, too. But, Jomi, are we on Blue Sky, though?
We're
Seriously?
on Blue Sky. Yeah. I don't know. We got to talk through some specifics about like what we're going to be, migrating over there as a whole. But yeah, we're there. So make sure you follow us. So when we get active on there, you'll be the first people to know.
Right. Okay. We're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You can watch every Midnight Boys and every House of R episode on youtube.com/@Ringerverse. You guys, make sure that you watch this. All last week at Spotify, they were talking about video. Daniel Eck came here, and he was telling everybody about video and how important it is. Program reminders. On Saturday, mid-November continues as Steve and Jomi continue their breakdown of Arcane Season 2, which people are really enjoying. They're really enjoying.
Van,
It's not the season.
Arcane's
two.
pulling
Is it
off
season
some
two?
generational
People
stuff.
are really enjoying Arcane.
Yes.
Yeah,
love
man.
Can I be honest? There's too much stuff happening right now. Arcane is on the list.
I need you to carve out
you
some
got
time.
it. You got
Carve
it.
out
There's
time
a
for
lot,
Arcane.
guys, I still haven't finished the Penguin or Agatha, all right?
Brother.
The list is getting
Okay,
longer and
first
longer.
and foremost, let's be honest.
You're not going to finish that.
You don't want to finish.
Longer.
Whoa, I got a whole month. Don't do this. I got a whole month. Midnight Mulligans.
Christ. Longer and longer.
Have some faith.
All right. Okay.
Carve out time for Arcane.
Arcane is special. Arcane is special.
On Tuesday, the House of R deep dives Dune Prophecy. which it seems that nobody likes.
It's a little dry. It's a little dry.
No pun
It
intended.
seems like nobody likes.
Like the desert of Arrakis. A little dry.
Okay, and now I haven't watched it yet. Has anybody tried Doom Prophecy here in the Midnight Boys? Has
I
anybody
have seen
watched
the pilot. We can give it some time to get cooking for sure. I don't really think you need to hop on it right now. But give it some
you
time.
don't need to. Steve.
Hop on it right now. Jesus Christ.
I was gonna let it go.
What's going on?
Nobody was gonna let it go.
Steve.
I was hoping we just let that one go. Like just breeze by.
It's crazy. Oh, by the way, when we're doing Midnight Grievances, I want to have a conversation about what bits should stay and what bits should go, because there's some bits that we haven't gone back to. Like, we desperately need transgressions right now, and we haven't been doing transgressions.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know what the audience thinks about, since Charles has been gone, Jomi's new leader has taken control of America.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
MAGA Jomi.
Are we allowed to have transatlantic slave points under the new Trump regime? We got to discuss.
That's what I'm talking. Like shit. To be honest with you, transatlantic slave points, they might be a good thing now.
Right.
Steve. So Steve's like a billionaire of the transatlantic slave points.
Wow.
Just notice this. I said transatlantic slave points might be a good thing now, and Steve said right. so everybody that always is like, you guys mess with Steve too much. Steve sticks his dick in the bear trap all the time.
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know how to.
We gonna check our phones, and we all gonna get a New York Times update that Steve is on Trump's cabinet. Like it is going to happen.
What would Steve be? Steve would be the secretary of what?
Secretary of holding it down.
That doesn't actually exist.
That's terrible. Well, we would like Steve could be the civil rights czar.
I was going to say the Sacktivist secretary. You know,
Sacktivist secretary.
They would make him
new nickname alert.
Sacktivist.
Steve is in Trump's cabinet.
Secretary of
Sacktivist.
Secretary of Sacktivist is funny.
He's no longer the architect and builder of things. He's the Sacktivist secretary.
I feel like they would make
under
him
Trump's regime.
The secretary of podcasting, and he just go out, like to every single white male and put a microphone in their hand.
I'd be like, I'm just asking the question.
Just go. Just do your thing.
Yeah, we need to think about it. Steve needs a job in this new cabinet. We're leaning on you, Steve. We need to
I'm putting a good word.
Turn the world over to you guys. Okay, on today's show,
we're
giving you guys two things. Reactions to the blockbuster of the fall, Gladiator II. A movie, we're going right into the middle of the arena to talk about Gladiator, Denzel, Mescal, Pedro, Quinn. Everybody's together, and they're making a movie with Ridley Scott, Gladiator II. It's a sequel to Gladiator. Something that everybody was wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
highly demanded.
We're going directly into a draft. Charles, tell them what the draft is.
We're doing the leading men draft, and we came up with this idea, honestly, because we have to apologize. Tom Holland was going through a fallow period before he was in a Christopher Nolan. He got cast in Christopher Nolan's next movie.
We got into
an argument kind of about who's a leading man, who are the greatest leading men of all time. So we're going to do a whole draft to argue it out.
Now, before we get into that, we're going to give you Gladiator, and we also have to tell you guys this. Another reason why we're doing this, Gladiator is a breeding ground for leading men. You got, in this movie, Paul Mescal, who is like hoping to be or lead a new era of Hollywood leading men, right? It's a new era of leading men. The old movie is the movie that made a box office megastar out of Russell Crowe. And in this film as well, you have one of the hottest actors in Hollywood right now, Pedro Pascal, and I would say a guy who's experiencing career relevance in a way that is really inspiring. It seems like this is the era of Denzel Washington getting his flowers. So this is a leading man bonanza.
We're going to get into it. Denzel got it, Joe. Like, what's happening in this movie, Denzel was not very gracious. I will just say that. Motherfuckers stealing whole movies from people.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay, let's get into it. Spoiler warning. Secretary Sacktivist, give it to us for Gladiator. We're doing it right now. We're getting ready to talk about.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, start you off. We get beginning our reactions. We have to put you in the know. The only way to do that is the Midnight Manifest. The only person who can do that is Chuck Wagon. Chuck, take it away.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for Gladiator II, directed by Ridley Scott, screenplay by David Scarpa, story by Peter Craig and Scarpa, starring Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nelson, and Joseph Quinn. Set 16 years after the events of the first Gladiator, Lucius, a.k.a. Anno, a.k.a. the son of Maximus and Lucilla, is a soldier in Numidia. His mother helped him escape to Africa as a child to avoid being killed in Rome. In hiding, Lucius has forsaken his name and his place as a Roman prince. When General Acacius attacks Numidia, Anno's wife is killed and he's enslaved. Anno swears vengeance on Rome and Acacius. Macrinus, a shrewd operator and gladiator profiteer, buys Anno and promises that if he performs well in the Colosseum, he'll make sure he gets a chance to fight Acacius. Anno wins the support of the Roman people throughout the games and builds allies. Meanwhile, Acacius and Lucilla try to overthrow Emperor Geta in Carcalla, but are unsuccessful due to Macrinus and his scheming. Anno realizes, damn, these names are so fucking hard. Anno realizes Acacius isn't his enemy, and at the behest of his mother, accepts his role as the Prince of Rome. The movie then leads to a standoff between Anno and Macrinus, and the Prince of Rome is victorious. That has been your Midnight Manifest for Gladiator II.
All right, guys. I don't think I've ever been interested in what we would say about a movie more. The three of us saw this movie together.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
When Clapgate happened. Charles, you didn't hear about this.
That was Venom, actually.
That was Venom.
Oh, was it Venom?
Yeah, that was Venom.
Yeah.
It's been a long year.
It's been, yeah.
We'll say it wasn't
Okay,
much.
We've been in a
reason to
sprint
bring
here.
it up.
Wasn't much clapping in this movie.
Yeah. But Charles, you just recently saw it last night, so it's
yeah.
fresh on your mind. What are your thoughts about Gladiator? I'm interested to hear. Hey, what's up? I'm interested to hear what you think.
So Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I say that knowing like Gladiator isn't like this prestige, like just great. Like it's great because it is super watchable. Russell Crowe's phenomenal. The writing is so iconic. The dialogue is so iconic. And when I sat down, it took me about 30 minutes to be like, I would like this movie so much more if it wasn't called Gladiator II. I think the sum of the parts, whether it is Denzel, whether it's some of the set pieces, are very entertaining, but it falls so short of what makes the first Gladiator good. And I think that this movie is so lopsided, where Paul Mescal, I have a lot of chips on him. I think he is an amazing, phenomenal actor. He's one of my favorite new actors in a long time. Aftersun is amazing. Denzel, what he does in this movie is so egregious in terms of like how good he is, how charismatic, how magnetic, that it almost kind of breaks the movie in half, I think, because what the movie is trading on is we're going to show you that Paul Mescal is a movie star. And when you leave at the end of it, you're like, oh no, Denzel is still a movie star. And everybody else in this movie is a distant second, third, fourth. So complicated. What did you guys, like coming out of the theater, what did you guys think of Gladiator 2?
Well, so I had literally like just seen the first one before I went to see the second one. I had never seen the first one. Literally, he puts his hands through the wheat. I'm in I go to the theater. I'm watching the second one, right? And Russell Crowe, I've never been like a big fan. Like I never like understood what it was that y'all was rocking with. I understood it there.
Yes.
I understand now.
I understand now. That man was cooking. My name is Maxim. I was like, yeah, let's
Are
go,
you not
Taylor,
insane?
let's go, right? So I'm coming to theater. I'm like, can we get some semblance of that? Can we get like the thing with Maximus was the honor, the gravitas that he held throughout the film, just kept you engaged. And it's not there. It's there for Denzel, who's the bad guy. And you're not really, I found myself rooting for Denzel at some points in the movie. I was kind of like, he's got the thing going.
Really, really quick. Can I tell you the funniest thing that happened in my movie theater is at the end of the movie, there was like one cheer when basically Paul Mescal wins, and everybody was dead silent because everybody was super bummed out that Denzel died. Like everybody was just like, we're not cheering. Like people were like, no.
Like Denzel is a highlight. The action is a highlight. But to your entire point, the sum of its parts doesn't work. There are moments and there are people that are really, really good in this movie. But as a whole, especially being named Gladiator II, it doesn't totally work.
I can't think of a movie more that chooses to suffer in the shadow of its predecessor more willingly than this movie.
Yeah.
It is so self-referential and so propped up on how great of a movie the first Gladiator was that it feels borderline satirical every time it mentions Maximus or anything that has to do with that prior film, because I keep finding itself being detracted from and undercut at every turn. Even with Denzel like doing his thing, I don't think anybody is really giving that much of a convincing or like star performing turn. And like to think of Gladiator as the kind of like crucible that birthed Joaquin Phoenix and Russell Crowe for us, to have the hottest stars in Hollywood at the time and Denzel Washington kind of ushered this into a more self-serious and self-referential place, I think doesn't really do it any favors, because we still got a dead wife. We've still got to do the proving grounds and impress some of the gladiator pimps. We've still got to meet the pompous rich people.
It's the same movie.
It's the same movie. Done in comparison to the first entirely poorly. And I can say that because it refers to the first one all the goddamn time.
You didn't like all the strength and honor? That didn't move you?
Oh my God, no.
It was one too many times when Paul Mescal was like kneeling down and doing the shit with the dirt. I was like, all right, man.
Dude, literally
when he literally puts the armor
he
on?
cosplayed his dad.
It's literally like if somebody was like, do you want to watch Bronny James do the chalk toss? I'm like, no, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, no.
The movie is astonishingly mediocre. Like, astonishingly mediocre.
Whoa, don't be that. It's fine. It's not that mediocre.
But no.
It's
kind of middle, yeah.
I didn't say it's bad. I didn't say it's bad. I said it's astonishingly mediocre, meaning this confluence of talent coming together to make something that's this inconsequential is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say Bronny James, because I was thinking about that. This movie kind of is Bronny James.
It is.
It exists only because its father was so great, and on its own, it just doesn't have it. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, the reality is this. It's like, this is the rare sequel that, to me, makes the first movie less good.
Really?
Oh.
Let me tell you why. Gladiator is still a fantastic movie, but this being an extension of Gladiator, to me, cheapens the story of the first movie a little bit.
Right.
Like so in the first movie, he was supposed to do all of this for Rome. Commodus dies. Mm-hmm. Rome is fucked up again. We know historically Marcus Aurelius was the last great emperor of Rome. Mm-hmm. So Rome has really no future. The 5 good Roman emperors, great Roman emperors, he's the last one. These 2 twin bastards are now running Rome. They're fucked. They're worse than Commodus.
They were so funny in this movie.
Like, we have no idea what we're fighting for. We have no idea why everything is happening. The likelihood of another gladiator becoming the symbol of Rome is so low.
Yeah, and yet again,
here we are.
All roads lead.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the whole thing. And when you're sitting down watching the movie, it's not like the movie is like a terrible 2 hours in the theater, or you're gonna come away because the talent around it is too good. But you just ask the question of why. And the why is just because somebody wanted to. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why
So-
this movie. This is because somebody wanted to.
Can I ask this as well? When I was sitting there, I was like, I feel like this movie does not actually know why we like the first Gladiator. It's like if Top Gun Maverick was like, we actually don't need Tom Cruise. We can just have Glenn Powell be the Tom Cruise figure. And you're like, no, I want to see Tom Cruise in, like, I think something like Creed works because it's like, even though it's a legacy sequel, Creed is like, no, we still need Sylvester Stallone somewhere in here because he's Rocky. And Gladiator, I'm like, Paul Mescal is not, he's not at the point yet where I think he can carry this type of movie. Because even in the beginning, when he's making that speech to all the soldiers in the
those
video,
speeches
you were
are
so
bad.
sick.
Those
I was
speeches
like,
are so not good.
It had no juice. Like, he didn't
No
have that
sauce.
gravitas.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting swallowed whole. And he
Nah.
doesn't have that thing that, to your point, Jomi, when you see Russell Crowe in Gladiator,
I'll run
I'm
through a
like,
brick wall for that dude
Yeah.
in war.
he's inspirational.
Yeah.
He's like a rabid dog. I'm like, I would not want to be in a Coliseum with him.
Yeah.
With Paul Mescal, I'm like, bro, I can't
I don't
buy-
fear. I don't
can't-
fear you. I don't
You
respect
know why?
you.
And the reason why is because it's not forced. When we were talking about, all of these, the first movie wasn't forced. The first movie was at the right time in Ridley Scott's career. It was at the right time in Russell Crowe's career. It was at the perfect time at Joaquin Phoenix's career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first movie isn't forced. You're not shoehorning somebody in there who's not ready for a star moment. Russell Crowe had been around for a little while. He had been in movies where he could show that he could go head to head with heavyweights, and that he had the thing that you need to carry a movie that big. Paul Mescal hasn't done that. It's like, oh my God, we're going to make a Gladiator movie. Who we're going to put in the movie to be the lead? Okay, this guy, he's not quite there yet. Denzel coming back. It's cool to see Denzel like going off and doing this, but even that, it seems like more of a marketing ploy to get you to watch the movie than a point, like than actual coming from real creativity and like real juice.
I will say that, like, I don't disagree with you, except for the fact that Denzel was kind of in his bag in this movie. Like, he's not.
But this
doing
isn't one of his better performances. It's just that everybody else
Yeah,
is kind of lacking so much charisma.
he
that
elevates it.
No, he doesn't actually.
he does.
actually
Nah.
doesn't. He stands like 2 heads above everybody and is just in control of
But
everything
I
whenever he's
still feel like
there.
it's a floor raiser, though.
No, I think it's actually
it's
a
not.
disservice to the movie.
It is.
Where it's like when Denzel is not on screen, I keep going, I wonder what Denzel is up to. And even Pedro Pascal is a talented actor.
Giving us nothing here.
Nothing, like just nothing. I was
Yeah.
just
No,
like,
there's nothing for him to work.
That's what
nothing
I-
for him
there's-
to do.
there's nothing for him
the
to
role
do.
is a nothing. It makes no. There's nothing there. You guys, there's no story here. There's no reason
really
to tell the
isn't.
story.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You're trying to create whatever. The story of the first Gladiator is a perfect. I'll tell you something else. Go back and think about the first Gladiator. You don't even remember the action that much. I mean, it's an
Not that
action
much.
movie. That first war scene is amazing. But the reality is that, like, that movie doesn't become about the action. It becomes about somebody talking they shit and refusing to die while this brat rules a kingdom.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
This movie is giving you sharks, and it's almost like
Now,
Austin
hold on.
Powers.
Oh,
Like,
the,
we-
CG hold on.
the CGI baboons were hilarious.
Oh my god!
I was dying.
Oh, that's not a real animal. That's never existed in history of time.
I was like, all right, Ridley, come on, bro. Like, come on.
Outside of
man.
the CGI monkeys, the action was pretty good though.
the action was good. Like when he's like diving against the rhino. Like, okay,
I love
cool.
and I love that opening like naval siege on that village.
No,
that was
because
cool.
here's the thing.
Like,
I need
That
once
was
again,
good.
That
was
Yeah.
Paul Mescal. I like once again. He is a great actor. I like him more than Timothée Chalamet. Dog, he's too much of an internal, subtle actor.
he's very like intense in his
Yeah,
face.
so when he's looking across from a CGI monkey, I'm like, oh, you haven't done this enough yet. He doesn't have the reps. So when he's like, I was like, what am I?
Well, we never put Russell Crowe in front of a CGI monkey, to be fair.
We
It's
should.
like,
Let's see what happens. Although that did give us the scene afterwards where he goes into the Gladiator mess hall and they just start
And
doing the monkey thing and
wild.
he's laughing. That was funny.
that was funny.
That was funny. You know,
No,
so we
I do
got
want to
that
give a
scene
shout
of it.
out something I didn't know about the movie. My friend is in this movie. My friend Chidi.
oh, shout out.
Oh, shout out Chidi.
Yeah, Chidi is one of the tall dudes. He's a tall black gladiator guy, super tall. Back in the day, man, me and Chidi were on the same league basketball team. You throw it up to Chidi going boom, he's like West African, like Jomi. You know,
Hey, shout out.
And, you know, they explosion. You know, explode.
Oh, right.
I was glad to see that he was in the movie. I was glad to see that. Look, to see movies being made at this scale is fun. It's fun to see movies being made at this scale. I love to see the big Hollywood movie, particularly late in the year. All of that stuff is fun. But man, bruh, the one thing that this movie wasn't supposed to feel like is the thing that it does feel like, and it feels like a money grab.
It really, really does.
Wait, can I tell y'all?
Go ahead.
I was going to say about money grab. Did you guys feel like this at the end of the movie? There's a point where Denzel has to fight Paul Mescal, and they choreograph it so Denzel gets a couple moves in. And by the end of it, I was just like, this feels like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Like, it literally feels like a money grab where I'm like, oh, man. Like, because, like, I'm like, the way Denzel's moving,
you can't fight that much in that big of a gown.
Coughing
like
baby
that.
versus hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, bro. And then when Paul Mescal, like, kills Denzel, I'm like, dog, now I hate Paul because he killed my nigga Denzel. Like, it felt like, to your point, a money grab where I'm like, people are going to hate me. Denzel did a great job in this movie. He's phenomenal. He's the best part of this movie. Mm-hmm. There was a point where I was like, this isn't the best Denzel performance.
No.
And it almost kind of feels like...
Does it make you feel like he even kind of tried?
Whoa. The thing with Denzel, that's why I'm saying he's like a floor raiser, right?
Yeah, no, that's
kind of like...
His low effort is better than 90% of everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to... When he comes to the gym, he's going to give you 100% every single day, no matter what's going on.
Sure.
Right? Winning, losing, whatever movie you're in. Kind of like Chris Paul now, age 110, year 20 or whatever. Every single night, he's going to come out. He's not giving you 20, 10, and 3 steals anymore, but he can still give you like 14, 22 on like a great day. Mm-hmm. You know, that's basically what he's doing.
My question is this the beginning of Denzel's Anthony Hopkins era?
Like just a bag? I mean, what else you got to accomplish?
What Denzel is right now is like a really special place in his career.
Okay.
To me, I think that for a long time, particularly early on, Denzel was a little underrated.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that Denzel was a little underrated. I think that we would talk about the biggest stars in the world and we wouldn't talk about Denzel Washington. I think that's changed in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years. You know, you've seen different things, you know, the Equalizer movies and all of that stuff. It's changing. But now I think he's as powerful as he's ever been to me. Mm-hmm. He's as confident as he's ever been. He's become a cultural institution. And that this movie is kind of a celebration of that. And I think that's awesome. I cool. do think that's amazing.
No, I think that's awesome. But I also think what's funny is I feel like Denzel is kind of getting the treatment that Cruise got after Maverick, where there was such a long period in Hollywood where I feel like those movie stars really did not know their place in the ecosystem during kind of like the superhero IP boom. And now that stuff is a little bit on the downswing, I feel like the public is kind of like, but we're not making these anymore. We have to like.
But it's also crazy
them.
Because the other half of this cast is half of the Fantastic Four. Yes. Paul Mescal, the hottest actor right now, and like it like all like that's the new generation of quote unquote leading men of the superhero era and IP chasing. And it's in this thing where like you have this gold-plated movie star.
Yeah.
Ushering down an IP continuation of a legacy sequel with the rest of these interesting contingents of hot Hollywood actors that are, like you said, doing this trend.
Denzel's the only movie star in this movie right now.
That's what I'm saying. That he's the gold-plated standard for all that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the interesting thing about like the IP era is that it does a tremendous amount for your bank account, but nothing for your bankability. Mm-hmm. Your bank account goes crazy, right?
Yeah.
You get the security of being able to do other smaller movies and stuff like that. But nobody goes to see you in your next movie because they saw you as Spider-Man or Captain America or nothing else. We know that.
I'm gonna throw Pedro Pascal some bail. I don't think they gave him a ton to do.
True, but he's not a movie star.
Maybe,
yet.
maybe,
No,
maybe not. Maybe not yet.
He's a big deal. He's
No,
a
he's a
big
huge
fucking
deal.
deal.
Yeah.
A gigantic fucking
Yeah.
deal. He's one of the hottest actors at this point around. He's not a movie star yet.
Yeah. Joseph Quinn.
Give him some time.
He made some choices. You know?
Do you
I
think
don't-
this movie is? Here's the thing, not better. I think without Denzel, this movie is a nothing movie.
It's a flop.
But do you
Yeah.
think that we would be kinder to this movie if it was not so lopsided in terms of like Denzel is actually illuminating how much farther his co-stars have to go?
yeah.
And I was like, watching the movie, I was just like, oh, that's what I meant, where I was just like, I love seeing him in this space. But if I'm the director, I'm like, I gotta pull Denzel to the side. I'd be like, hey, yo, man.
Stop
you
going
gotta
crazy on
like,
him.
you are
can't,
suffocating everyone.
Because a film like that, a film like this has to have that type of performance. The first movie is completely oriented around Maximus.
Mhm.
Who are you? I am Gladiator. No, turn around and face your emperor. I am Maximus Decimus Meridian, father to it. And when you're in the theater and that moment happens, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What happens now? Jesus. He like, because you don't think that he that type of a G.
Mhm.
Like you don't think he gonna touch, like you're like, what happens now? That hyper magnetic, it's the old Gladiator movie is really one of the last bastions of the movie star era of films where you take somebody like that and you put a whole mythos around them and they bring you home. This movie, either we're coming to the movie for sharks or we're coming to the movie for, I mean, look.
Gladiator, Fast and Furious?
It's the deal. It has to have that guy who's
Too
doing that.
Gladiator.
And unfortunately, it was Denzel Washington and not Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
Oh, can I also ask, just like writing wise,
No.
did this movie feel a little off? Where it's like,
Yeah.
here's the thing:
Yeah.
the original Gladiator
It's a terrible,
is not like,
it's a terrible script.
yeah, like
It's a bad script.
it's a nothing burger. Where I was just like, the original Gladiator. I'm not saying it's Citizen Kane, but like, it's a well written movie. The
It's structure.
speeches-
Yeah.
the structure, the
Actually, it's a good
speeches.
script. Yeah.
There's not one speech that Paul Mescal has in this that
not a
is
single
inspirational.
one.
It's twofold. I think the writing also, but just didn't have it at the end when he's giving the speech.
It's
Sort
about
of dance.
surviving, and we
And like
survived.
I mean, think about it.
I'm like, what?
The speech from Gladiator, the speech from Independence Day from the president, even the Idris Elba in Pacific Rim. You know,
Cancel
today
the
we're canceling the
apocalypse.
apocalypse, brother. That gets you hyped. That gets you going.
Set that clock.
I'm in the theater. I'm like, all right, bro, get to the fights, bro.
Even at the
Yeah,
end
to
when
that
he
shit,
wins
bro.
and he's giving the like final speech, I'm like,
It does
this
not
is supposed to
move me.
hit
Man.
in a different way.
So on the script here, and this once again, this is not to call anybody out. The screenwriter here is a gentleman by the name of David Scarpa. David Scarpa has written 5 movies. These are the movies: The Last Castle, The Day the Earth Stood Still, All the Money in the World, Napoleon, and Gladiator II. So, All the Money in the World, obviously Ridley Scott movie about the Getty family kidnapping. Napoleon, universally reviled movie. Like universally reviled
Didn't
movie.
PTA have to
Like-
come in and do rewrites on Napoleon?
Like a legitimately just fucking, like people just punted on the idea of the Napoleon movie. Supposed to be a big deal when it came out. People
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
we were
"Ah,
gassed
Ridley
up for
Scott,
that."
we're not gonna talk
Who's
about
we?
it." Gone.
I was
And then
psyched
you
to see
have this
Napoleon.
one.
Nah.
So,
Nah.
the Day the Earth Stood Still movie is a cool movie to me because, like, I like to see kind of emotionless alien man Keanu Reeves. It's not very good. I mean,
Nah.
the script here is not very good. It's a jumbling of things on script on screen that then you're supposed to work out at the end. But this is obviously something that Ridley Scott is into at this point in his career.
Can I ask a question? At the end of this film, did you think that we were going to see a Force Ghost Russell Crowe?
Oh my God.
It was, here's the thing.
Were we getting close?
I was like,
I think
once
that was
they
his
did the
hand.
whole Paul Mescal is dead, he's having a dream shit.
And then
I'm
the
like-
sky is doing that like cycle thing.
I'm like,
Well,
if
it's one- yeah, doing the
Russell
blue
Crowe
thing,
comes
yeah, the
in
blue
here,
wave.
this bitch, I'ma leave.
With his dad, I mean, like, you know, hey, what's up, Pops? What's going on, man? It's been a minute. I could have used you back here. You know what I'm saying? I killed Denzel. I mean, it would have. Does it really matter at the end of the movie? Because, like, it already kind of sucked anyway. So
but
if
it's
you
the,
like,
it's the mere thought that I actually thought that it could go there.
I mean, the movie had sharks in the Coliseum. Anything was possible.
No, I thought there were real sharks in the Coliseum, weren't there?
They did flood it with water. That was true.
Yes.
I'm not really worried about historical
I don't know.
accuracy.
I know
it's
that they
not
knew how
really.
to flood it. Well, I learned that night actually.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they could transport sharks.
I didn't know that either.
I don't know if that's accurate. Honestly, we have a lot of scientists and historians. Guys, hit us up on socials if there are real sharks.
Guys, it's okay, man. They was out there fighting in the gladiator pits. I don't need the historical accuracy in my.
It was
movies.
cool. It was cool.
It was
my,
cool.
My
yeah.
last, I was just like, all right, I don't know if I would do this, Denzel. When the emperor is like, he's like, all right, my regent number 1 is the monkey. And number 2 is Denzel. I'm like, hey, Denzel, you got to be number 1.
Yeah, but he was out of his mind on syphilis though.
He.
That's what he had.
Look, the movie
Yeah.
had some shit moments when Denzel just cuts the throat of one of the brothers.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like,
Joseph
God
Quinn, yeah.
damn. Like I was, the movie has some shit moments. There's some stuff in the movie that's a little, like whatever. The twin emperors were the opposite of compelling in any way.
That was Looney Tunes to me. That was just nuts.
The first fight scene they have that little party when they get to the city with Denzel and the Emperor.
Oh, and they just do
they
fight.
have the
in front
fight
of them?
right there.
Oh yeah,
That's a good fight.
that's a good fight.
That's a good fight.
Well, there's the action pieces in this aren't bad.
I would say they're pretty good. Honestly, I enjoyed watching them fight.
The movie is, when I say it's astonishingly mediocre because if you put right now Kevin Durant, let's not use the old niggas. If you put right now Jokic, Tatum, I don't know, fucking the way Donovan Mitchell is playing right now. If you put all of those types of guys on the same team and they won 40 games,
oh hell no.
You would say if they won 45 games, let's say 45, they're 8 seed playoff playing team. You would be like, wow, it's impressive how unsuccessful that was.
Yeah,
not if they're getting coached by Darvin Ham.
Not that it was just like they whack,
Yeah,
but
but
it was.
they're
It's
getting
impressive
coached
how
by one of the best.
unsuccessful they ended up being. I'll say something else. Last thing. Look, I'm gonna say this one. We have got to stop dick riding, you guys. Like I'm just listen. I'm gonna take some responsibility and I'm gonna make a proclamation.
Oh wow.
Next year. Mm-hmm. Okay. I love superhero content.
Yes.
I love it. There are times where I tend to judge it, I feel like, maybe a little bit too softly. And that time has got to be over now. It's got to be over just because I think now it's time to really, we're getting into an era of dick riding that's toxic. I came out, the fucking Soups guy went on here and said this is one of the best movies of all time. Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. And that's not to diss the Soups guy. He goes on there and I post, that's a fucking lie. And I'm sorry, guys. It is a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie that this is one of the greatest movies ever made. And people got mad that I said that. Like, no. If
When
you're
you
being
watch
for real, if you're not dick riding Ridley Scott or Denzel Washington or whatever, this shit is just okay, man.
Yeah,
and maybe not even that. And that's okay. It's fine. Just we got to stop the dick riding, though. And I'll hold myself
I
accountable.
am 100% on board.
Of course.
It's a new era. No dick riding. I love this.
I just let you know something. You're not gonna like this. Hating is a form of dick riding.
Oh, that's actually that's true. That's very true. That's very true.
Well, here's the thing. We'll see. Keep that same energy around Midnight Mulligans because for years now, I've been clear. Y'all be coming down at the end of the year because you're dick riding too much. I maintain throughout the year.
Do we have to have a conversation about Ridley Scott?
Oh, that conversation has already been had.
It's cooked?
I think he still knows how to direct a movie.
I don't know. I mean, he's really fucking Scott. Like you
Yeah.
can't.
No, he's an OG.
I mean,
His legacy's secure, I would say.
But the last
he's in a
couple
slump.
movies have
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
been great.
I mean, we could like
What's the last couple
Let's look at the
So
last
let's go
couple
from-
movies.
from
I mean, if you look at the last
2010,
couple of movies,
Robin
right now,
Hood,
Ridley Scott.
Prometheus, The Counselor, Exodus, Gods and Kings, The Martian, Alien Covenant, All the Money in the World, The Last Duel, House of Gucci, Napoleon, and Gladiator II.
Some
So
of those are
then-
hits.
Some of those
The
are
Martian
good.
is
Martian is good.
fantastic. The Martian is
Martian's good.
fantastic.
Alien Covenant, I think, is all right.
I don't mind Prometheus. I don't like it
Sure.
when it gets into the big thing.
I
But
don't mind
tell
House
you
of
what, that-
Gucci.
that-
Not good. House of Gucci was fine.
He directed the shit out of all those.
yeah,
The last
still knows how to
Dude
direct.
he
is
still knows
a great
how
movie.
to direct.
He's got sauce.
So then, why does this movie feel so empty and hollow?
a not great script.
There was nothing to say. He had nothing to say. They were just like, they saw all these legacy sequels and they're like, let's do Gladiator 2. And he's probably like,
He's like, all right.
the check cleared. It's fine. It happened.
It happens.
But if you look at Ridley Scott overall,
no, he's bad. One of the greatest we've ever seen.
he is. But at the same time, he's inconsistent.
Sure.
If you look at the movies, he takes some chances, and sometimes he's scatterbrained in.
He's a volume shooter for sure.
Scattershot, should I say? In the way you have, Matchstick Men and all of those movies, but then you have Robin Hood in there, you have The Counselor in there, you have
went
movies.
straight
that
from
for
Alien
whatever
to Blade
reasons
Runner.
don't
But
work.
you do Alien, Blade Runner, Thelma Louise, Gladiator. I mean, that's
Those
before.
are
That's
fucking
like,
fantastic movies.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to give it to him. You
All
gotta,
right. So before we get into the leading men draft, where are we feeling with the Midnight Meter on Gladiator 2?
Well, you've been
It's a
gone a
6.
while, man. You said a 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Sure.
6.
Where you at?
I think I'm going to give it a light 7.
It's a 6 for me. It's a 6.
I think I want to give it a 6, but I think I'm gonna Denzel's performance. He's out acting everybody. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 just off that strength.
A 6 for the movie, a 7 for Denzel. Can't fucking argue with it.
All right, we
Wonderful.
ready for the leading man draft?
I mean, we're ready. It's about to
ready.
be some fun, man. About to be fun. Let's do it.
All right, it's time for the leading men draft. Spoiler warning for all leading man and leading man adjacent movies.
Yeah.
The
A lot of
rules
stuff.
All of film.
of the drafts are simple. We got 6 categories: action, comedy, Oscar, heartthrob, black, and superhero. Black is crazy.
Black is
Black is
crazy.
crazy.
I think it's just the way you said it, not
Yeah,
unceremoniously.
that was, I had to pause. All right, and Oscar, the only one we have to be very clear. We had a conversation about this.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar means you won Best Actor,
Yes.
not nominated. You had to have won.
Best lead actor.
Yes, not
Yes,
supporting.
not supporting.
Because it's the leading man draft.
Exactly.
It's not the supporting man.
Exactly.
Supporting man draft would be fun. All right. Also, living or dead. This can be any leading man. As always, we go in snake draft order. Before we get the order, let's be clear. What do we mean by leading man before we get into an argument? Van, because you are not only the oldest of us, but you have seen way more leading men across your life. What does it mean to you?
Somebody who can just be the dramatic, or who can be the driving force of a movie. Doesn't matter how big the movie is, right? Doesn't matter what. They're all different types of leading men. They're leading men if you have a $30 million movie. They're leading men if you have a $100 million movie. They're leading men who can open up a film that a studio is banking on. They're leading men that people want to see for smaller, more intimate movies. But if you can be the guy, scene in, scene out, that drives the movie, you are the leading man.
So can I ask this question? When I was like prepping for this, someone I was thinking about is like, to me, Morgan Freeman isn't a leading man, even though he is one of our greatest actors.
Facts. Morgan Freeman is very rarely the guy at the top of the
Of the
market,
bill. Yeah.
at the top of the poster.
So
Just
then
doesn't
where
happen.
does someone, we might be stepping on it, where does someone like Samuel L. Jackson, because he is a leading man, but I would argue his best roles are supporting.
You don't really go to see a movie because Samuel L. Jackson is the star of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You might go to see it because he's in the movie.
Yeah.
But at this point, he's such a well-respected actor that his name and his association to any project like upgrades or elevates that project in and of itself. But I wouldn't say that there's too many examples of Samuel L. Jackson being a really successful leading man in films. He's had some movies where he's the lead. He's had a lot of movies where he's the lead, but not too many where he's like a hyper successful leading guy, number one guy.
All right.
So what's the order of this draft?
Aleya, lock us in.
The order is Van, then Jomi,
Ooh,
then
daddy.
Charles, and then Steve.
Great.
All right.
Got it.
Right where I need to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Lead us off.
Okay, so my number one pick is going to be an Oscar.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to take who I think is the most versatile leading man of all time. Okay, this guy has everything you need in a leading man. He has the hardware in terms of being a recognized actor. He has the box office. And he has a litany of roles and memorable characters that very few actors can come close to. Simply, at a point, the most beloved face in America, Tom Hanks. That's going to be my first.
Wait, who
number
did you
one
pick?
pick
Tom Hanks.
overall
Tom Hanks.
in the leading man.
You had to.
I'm taking it
that
an
was safe.
Oscar. Two back-to-back Oscars.
Back to back. Yeah.
Philadelphia, El Forrest Gump. I'm taking Tom Hanks.
It's funny that you put Tom Hanks in Oscar because there were like two other categories I feel like you could have gone with.
You could, yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's how versatile he is.
Yeah.
Yep. You could have gone comedy. You could have gone black.
Yeah.
He's from Oakland.
He is from Oakland.
But yeah, Tom Hanks, the only thing that Tom Hanks is missing as a leading man to me is he really never got into the big time action roles. Although you could say Saving Private Ryan is a very action adjacent movie, whatever. But that's kind of the only thing that he never really got into.
Okay.
I already know who you're picking.
I'm not. I'm zagging.
Okay.
I'm zagging because I need I want to pick him with every bone in my body, but I feel like if there are other options I think also work, but I'm trying to be competitive. I'm trying to win.
All right.
And I'm going with in Oscar, I'm taking Leo DiCaprio.
There you go.
Oh, you sold.
You
sold.
This is wow. Wait,
taking Leo.
defend this.
You
I
sold.
like Leo. I think he's in the top 5, top 10 of
He has one Oscar.
Yeah, but in Oscar it's crazy.
I mean, like there are options, I feel like, but like I've got other folks in other categories I think like play better. But Leo DiCaprio is, for a while was the guy. Look, lady,
Actually, only for one was he the guy.
for Titanic?
Why are you hating on Leo, bro?
I'm not hating on Leo. I'm just like, I don't put him in Oscar just yet.
He's not.
I put him in a couple.
Oscar's crazy.
Oscar's crazy.
Wait, he won an Oscar.
He did, and
No, he did,
and
but-
for that reason, like he is
That's why I'm
allowed.
putting
And
him in
I
Oscar.
like,
If we're talking about
gaming
greatest
it.
Oscar winners of all time,
No, I'm definitely gaming it.
right.
I'm definitely gaming it. But Leo DiCaprio as like one of the lead. I mean, how many years were we like, oh, this is Leo's time. He's gonna get this Oscar, and he didn't get it. Not that he didn't deserve it.
Sure.
We weren't like, we were like, for how many years were like
There
Leo
was a
got
huge
robbed?
run of big movies that he was in that were like, oh, he's a shoo-in this year, or
And
like
he-
he might get, or like he's at least neck and neck with so and so,
And he didn't win it, and then he won it for The Revenant. Is that the movie should have won of it? Probably
Absolutely not.
But he finally got it. He should have got it for
Aviator?
Or no, I'm talking about
Aviator.
Once
I
Upon a
loved
Time.
Aviator.
Once Upon a
you
Time in Hollywood.
loved Aviator.
This guy.
Yeah.
All right,
This guy. I'm just
I
like,
like the movie.
Yeah.
Aviator's.
I
fine.
don't mind Aviator,
Yeah.
but I'm saying he probably should have won it for Once Upon a Time in
No,
Hollywood.
he shouldn't have.
Really?
No.
No.
I mean, The Revenant to me is not Leo's best role. But
It's
to
not.
be honest with you, I don't think that Leo has a role to where Tom Hardy outacted Leo in The
Whoa,
Revenant. I don't think Leo has
Wolf
a
of Wall
role.
Street. I don't know what that year was.
I think Wolf of Wall Street would have gotten
Is
him
that
one.
2014?
Should have gotten him
Right, but I don't know
2013?
if Leo has a role where I'm like, Jesus Christ, he was robbed. I don't know if he has one where
I agree
thought
with
that.
this, and Leo's one of my favorite actors. But
Really?
he's one of my favorite actors. But he's the type of movie star that I feel like is always good, but is never. There's always a supporting actor who kind of shows him up,
Right.
which is fine.
2019.
He was nominated in 2013 for Wolf of Wall Street,
2013.
for 2007 for Blood Diamond, for The Aviator, for Once
Yep,
Upon a
yeah,
Time in
yeah, man.
Hollywood,
What's up?
and
What's he in Gilbert Grape?
supporting in Gilbert Grape.
Supporting. Yeah, man.
Porter and Gilbert Grape is a great role.
I love
Gilbert
that
Grape's a great
was
movie.
Has it
fantastic
aged well?
actor.
Probably not.
Huh?
Has what's
Eating
Gilbert,
Gilbert
what's
Grape?
eating Gilbert Grape? I watched that as a kid.
It ages worse when you watch Tropic Thunder.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
Okay, let's move the fuck.
All
on.
right.
By the way,
Like Trump's America. Okay,
All right,
who's up
I
now?
can't believe
Shut up,
that
Jomi.
this
I let it go.
man is the third overall pick.
I let him go.
Action, you got to go Tom Cruise. Like when you think of movie
action?
interesting. Yo, that's good. That's
here's the
good.
thing: when
Oh,
you think of
I
movie
can't
stars,
believe that Tom Cruise fell to third.
that's
It
is
crazy.
wild.
Like I
That's
thought
wild.
Tom
I
Cruise.
can't-
Here's the thing,
that's a
like,
shoe-in for.
like it's insane. When
Yeah.
we think of like movie star in the dictionary, it would be Tom Cruise's photo.
Right.
What I love about Tom Cruise is he never needs to be the greatest dramatic actor,
Mhm.
but he has the thing that is like you go to the movies for, which is whenever he is on screen, my eyes looking at him, I want to see what he's doing. He has an energy. He
Yeah.
raises everyone. He can do the fucking rom-coms, but also the action, but also just like he can do everything. Tom Cruise is
Actually, can I be honest
Yeah.
with you? Not a great rom-com guy.
Jerry
Yeah,
Maguire.
yeah, Jerry Maguire. Yeah.
Not,
He's got
to me,
one.
not a rom-com.
It's a sports movie.
Yeah, like
It's on the bubble of a rom-com.
He's Jerry Maguire is a movie star's rom-com type of movie.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
more
fair.
of a guy facing an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and-
not
in
like a
which he
down-to-earth
falls in
rom-com.
love. It's kind of the second part of it. The rom-com where it's him and another lady, and it's the whole thing is about their
Them.
relationship. Is the he's too big of a star.
And it would feel awkward.
What's
Like, he doesn't
what's
really
Tom
do
Cruise's
well with
best?
that. He has a problem not dominating the screen. You know.
What's
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's best role?
It's Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
That's to me.
No.
No.
Nigga, I
Nah.
love. Listen. One thing about I think
Ethan
What's
Hunt.
Few
the-
Good Men, probably.
probably, but I mean the thing about me is, nigga, you played him any Mission Impossible except for the second
Are
one.
y'all ignoring Minority Report?
Probably.
It's a good movie.
Great movie.
Well, but see, the color. I mean, he was good in The Color Money. I don't think it was his best role though.
Maverick is probably the one on the
he has
obituary.
a lot of early stuff to where he's really good in. Like
Yeah.
the
Risky Business?
first Maverick, the first
Top Gun?
Top Gun is a culture defining role.
Yeah.
It is but then A Few Good Men. You have, I mean, my favorite role of his is still Jerry Maguire. That's still that's
Oh wait,
the
actually,
quintessential
one of
Tom role
my
for me.
second favorite role. What's the fucking Michael Mann movie with Jamie Foxx?
Oh, Collateral. Oh,
Collateral.
he's
Collateral.
amazing.
Oh,
he's good.
yeah.
He's good.
He's
Collateral.
amazing.
Oh,
Bruh.
Vincent, yeah, he's good as Vincent, man.
Fucking
Yeah.
cooking. That
bruh.
to me, when you look at
Collateral
roles,
is
that's
perfect.
fucking
Bro, it's so
cooking in
fire.
that one. Amazing.
He's cooking in that. That might be it. That might be the
Yeah.
best one.
Shit.
Vince,
All
he's
right.
so good as Vincent in that one, bro.
All right, Steve, you got
Steve, where you
Okay,
at?
I'm picking because of the list of my rosters that are like the thinnest that
Yeah.
I think need to go. So for me, in action stars, since you took Tom Cruise, I'm gonna have to go with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. There's
Mm.
actually
For
there's
action.
another. There's two other
That's-
ones in
Two other
action.
ones. yeah.
Keanu's got a generational defining run for my generation of just like it's Point Break, Matrix films,
Speed.
John Wick, Speed.
Yeah.
Like that's a legacy locked in.
Keanu Reeves
For an action
first
star.
off the board in action star.
No.
Second.
Second. He
Tom
took
Cruise.
Cruise.
You took Tom Cruise. Okay, cool.
took-
Wait, you
Yes.
could, but because you have taken Keanu and Heartthrob as well.
I have my
You
own
could've.
pick and heartthrob.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm gonna go with him for that.
You got one.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go. All right, well, I think in black category, I'm gonna go Denzel Washington. He's like the reason why we started this draft.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that's good.
I gotta-
That's
I
good.
gotta take the
it,
biggest
Steve.
name
That's
of all.
good.
Let's come
Yeah.
up for Steve.
That's good.
Wow,
Back is Denzel
Keanu,
Washington.
Take
Denzel
Keanu,
off the
Denzel
board,
back to
Steve,
back.
that's
It's still
good.
good.
Yeah.
Like Denzel has become that's good.
That's good. We've been
And
talking up
let's
Denzel this
face
whole
it, The black
podcast.
category is going to be kind of thin.
So
You got a couple,
because
but I
the-
needed to take Denzel.
because the black category is honestly more thin than I would like it to be for
Yeah.
a variety of racist reasons, I gotta take my man, Big Willie, Will Smith.
Yeah.
He's on the board.
Sure,
Yeah, he's
sure,
on the
yeah,
board.
yeah, of course.
You have to take Will Smith.
Got to take
You
Will.
gotta
That's
like
the number two for sure.
Gotta
honestly,
take
the
him.
fact that I got Cruz and Will Smith, I'm like,
Could have
like,
put him in Oscar, but
who Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have put him in Oscar.
All right.
We're not gonna talk about it, but you could have.
Wait.
Why are we not going to talk about it? He slapped somebody. It's fine.
No, first of all,
I don't know
let's be
about
clear. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock is one of the most important moments in American history. He deserved the Oscar.
Yes.
But I think what Will Smith to me has exactly what Tom Cruise has,
Yeah.
where it is like, Will Smith can be in a dog shit movie, and I'm still like, but that's Will.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
actually, and Will Smith could also be in a rom-com, and it's
Can be in a, but also Will Smith is not that great. He's kind of has the Cruise problem.
Y'all see, we love Hitch.
I'm about to
Okay.
say, if y'all, my one of my worst takes is that his best role is Hitch.
All right,
Hitch is a great movie.
All right.
Brother, man.
Hitch
So
is
let
a
me tell you
great
something.
movie.
turn
Let
Hitch
me tell you
on,
something
bro.
about Hitch.
I'm
This is the
locked
thing
in,
about
dog.
Hitch. This is the thing about Hitch. How much money y'all think Hitch made?
I bet it made a lot of money. Actually.
Oh, I can't even.
I
It was
don't-
very
man.
successful.
yeah, it
What
was
y'all think Hitch made?
Let's say 425.
$425 million.
$371 million.
How much?
$371
Jesus,
million.
God damn.
It's not bad.
That is
That's
incredible.
star power.
Was that the beginning of the end? Was that because that was around, there was Hitch, there was Hancock.
That was Kevin James' peak. Was that also
What,
Will
Eva
Smith
Mendes-
peak?
Eva Mendes was in there?
Paul
Blart?
Yeah,
Blart.
Kevin
Blart
James.
was
Kevin
there?
James. That's his name.
That's his apex?
Is it not?
No. Paul Blart Mall Cop is his shit. He
Really?
has his own
Those
hit.
mo-
Why
do you
can't
know
Hitch
how
be his
successful
apex?
those movies
No,
are?
that's what
No,
I'm
they're
saying.
successful, but I'm like, are you really enjoying them?
No,
No,
but
it doesn't matter.
He's
It's
on it.
peak.
Yeah.
Somebody else is.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is where we reveal we have Kevin
When
James
you
in
look at
comedy.
when you look at Will is getting close, in my opinion, to actually people not understanding what a fucking big, huge deal. I mean, Hitch is a good movie.
Yes.
But on a budget of $50 to $70 million, to take that movie and turn it into nearly $400 million bucks.
Crazy.
We were just going, iRobot, all of these films.
Yeah.
Will was the defining movie star of his era.
Yes.
Of that era, Will Smith was the biggest guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was the biggest guy. He could open a fucking movie. He's a
Do you-
legitimate fucking movie star. Like,
Are we
One of the biggest of all time.
underestimating him the same way we've been doing with Denzel for a while, where we were like, we almost got too comfortable with them, and now it's kind of like getting around to the moment where I don't know if there's going to be another Will Smith or Denzel.
we know Will too well. We've spent too much time with him. That sometimes the mystery that surrounds a movie star,
Yeah.
we don't.
Everything
do it
I
with
learned
him.
about
Like,
Will Smith is
I mean,
against
we know
my
him
will.
too well. Like, we know too
Yeah.
much of the only thing that like some of these other guys in the same ilk, they stay a little bit detached. Will reaches out for us, and I think that affects our perception of him.
And I'm
Because
like,
if it's just on the movies that they've
Get off that
made
red
and
table.
how successful those movies have been, it's not too many guys that have been bigger than him at his peak.
No. I mean, you could like Independence Day, banger, Bad Boys.
Men
I
in
mean,
Black.
Men in Black. Like,
Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2
God.
bigger hit than Bad Boys 1.
Here's the thing. Wild
Uh,
Wild West sucks, and it's still
I
like
liked
the song.
Wild Wild West.
All right, Wild Wild West is not good.
I
We're
kind
not-
of
let's
like it.
not.
It's fun.
when are we gonna get people back on the actors rapping again, man?
When's the schlocky Wild Wild West type movie coming back? When's
Never.
Shanghai Noon coming
Hell
back?
no.
Nah,
Shanghai.
this-
All right,
we
man. Joe,
Forget
who's
you
that?
that
Who's
no
drafting
more.
next?
I'm drafting next. I mean, I get what you guys are saying about. Yeah, I might have to take Black because if we don't,
you might have to take Black.
in the Black category. All right,
Ooh.
bro.
Ooh,
Hey, okay,
okay.
no, okay. That was crazy. That was crazy. You knew what I was talking about, but that was crazy. That was crazy.
Daddy.
That's nuts. That's nuts. In the Black category, I'm gonna go with. I mean, I'm gonna go Chadwick in.
Okay.
Okay,
Black.
All right.
I like this.
I like it too.
Rest in peace to our brother. But I mean, 42, Thurgood Marshall, Black Panther. The guy was, on his way to becoming one of the biggest. I mean, he might have been already there by the time he got, but like definitely was only going to reach higher heights.
It was a legacy cut way too short.
Way
I also
too
think
short.
Chadwick is interesting. I think if Chadwick was born 10 years earlier, he would have had a bigger career. Like the
Yeah.
movies he was
Oh,
leading
no.
and trying to do.
His career was he was going to dominate. It was the only thing that we lost Chadwick to was that Chadwick was having a you're right. You're
No,
right.
I'm
But I
talking
mean,
about like
he was,
42. in any other era probably would have been an even bigger movie.
Like if he wasn't sucked up by the Marvel machine, you mean he would have been doing more?
This is less to do with the Marvel machine and more to do with like he was trying to be a leading man in movies at a time where it's like people were just like, we don't really want those movies. We want the big. That's why Black Panther popped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Chadwick, that's actually a really
But remember
good thing.
now, you're talking about one guy who played Thurgood Marshall, James Brown, and Jackie Robinson.
Yeah,
You know?
he was the biopic guy.
We need a
Like, you know what I'm
biopic
saying?
guy.
Like,
He called Chadwick.
Chadwick was there, and it was only gonna. I think Black Panther was gonna free him up to do films that were a little bit closer to his heart because he had so much. He had so much security culturally, and I would imagine financially from those movies that you were going to see him. But Chadwick Boseman is a 101.
Man, I'll tell you something about Chadwick,
man.
man. 21 Bridges moved me, man.
I've seen.
I like that movie.
I like that movie, man. 21 Bridges is that gas, man.
Woo.
All right, Van. You got two.
You got two.
So I got two picks.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm surprised here. So I have to draft Black. I'm not going to draft Black first. I'm going to draft Black second.
Okay.
Because that's how way things work in America.
Jesus.
I have
All
to.
right.
I
Not
have
wrong.
to draft Black, but I have to take someone in Heartthrob right now that
Okay.
I'm surprised is still on the board. Maybe Heartthrob, to me, the biggest movie heartthrob of all time, or one of them, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna take Brad Pitt in Heartthrob.
Mhm.
Like, you could have taken Brad Pitt is another one of those guys where it feels like everything except action, right? Not really action, huh?
Not entirely, no.
No.
I feel like he just kind of dipped a toe in late in his career into action, but not like crazy.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? He was doing
Yeah.
action there, but I mean,
It's
it's not
an
like
action movie.
there's not a ton of them.
No,
It's not a ton.
Bullet Train
man.
was really the most recent thing.
Brother, I like Bullet Train.
Bullet Train is fine.
I
It's
like
fine.
Bullet
It's
Train,
okay.
man. I
It's
put
okay.
Bro, you put
Come
that on a
on,
plane,
man.
brother, you living.
Bullet Plane?
Bullet plane? Oh.
Was that the sequel?
That's the
Bullet
sequel.
Plane?
Of,
Listen to Steve. Let him cook.
Bullet Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Let him cook.
but if you think of guys who are like, this is the movie star heartthrob
Yeah.
guys, there are going to
Yeah.
be a couple of guys from the past, a couple of guys from the present, but Brad Pitt was the one as far as that was
The
concerned.
one, man.
Can I ask Aleya a question, actually?
Yeah, sure.
In the category of heartthrob, is there enough female gaze representation for Brad Pitt to call him like a generational heartthrob, do you think?
I think for a generation before me, maybe. For
Mhm.
me, I don't know. He doesn't really do it for me.
It's interesting to just to think of him as a heartthrob now versus when he was younger, which is obviously like I think anything pre-Fight Club is probably when we're thinking of, right?
Well, I mean, so
No, and definitely not free price. First of all, you guys, one thing I'm not going to do is litigate on this podcast whether or not Brad Pitt is a fucking heartthrob.
I'm not saying that whether or not
that's
he's, but like the way he's billed as
Brad
such.
Pitt, like Brad, my mother and this woman named Sunny. So let me tell you what happened real quick. I'm sorry to derail the podcast with a story, but there was a woman named Sunny that was literally the landlord of our building here in California when we lived out here before. And Sunny took a liking to my mom. Okay. So it runs in the family with powerful white people taking a liking. But anyway, Sunny took a liking to my mom. So Sunny told my mom, it's like this movie. Dad used to always think that Sunny had a crush on Mom. This movie that you have to see, Thelma and Louise. It's like 1992 or whatever the movie's coming out. So they go to see the movie. Dad comes home. Dad's like, where your mom at? And I'm like, she went with Miss Sunny. And Daddy was like, she went what? It's like she went with Miss Sunny. They left. Like Sunny and your mama, they left together. I'm like, Dad thought he had been robbed. You thought Mom was experiencing some new things. Whatever. They go to see the movie. They come back, and Sunny is talking about the female-led, like beauty of the movie and all of that stuff that. And my mother says, all of that is great, but I saw the finest white boy I have ever seen before in my life. Okay, I saw
He was
the
27 in
finest
that
white boy
movie, by the
that
way.
I have ever seen in my life in that movie, and I don't know where he coming from or where he going, but goddamn, he robbed her, and I bet it was worth it. And from then all the way moving on, Fight Club was the movie where men started to gravitate towards Brad Pitt. That was the movie where we started to go, oh my God. It was kind of like the Matt Damon, Jason Bourne thing, to where we were like, this guy's like fucking kind of cool. Like we fuck with him a little bit. But Legends of the Fall, maybe not for the like Brad Pitt.
Meet Joe Black.
Him and
Meet Joe Black.
Him and Jennifer Aniston, like that was a whole thing. Right? Like
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's
Come on,
two
that was a crazy
people. Literally, that movie, shout out Kim Berg, that movie is the two sexiest people in the world.
At the sexiest point in their lives.
At the sexiest point in the movie. That's what that movie is.
Yeah, exactly.
People also forget that there's a whole other movie after the sexy fight scene, which I think it kind of...
I like it when they go to the Lowe's and they start shooting everybody up.
Nah,
like
even
it.
after, when they go to Lowe's,
everything
cool.
after the sexy fight, I'm like, all right, we can stop.
Man, Steve, come on, bro.
You
doing too much this episode.
Doing too
Come
much.
on, man.
I like Steve. Steve's spicy Steve. This is Steve in power. So now Steve's in power. His side won.
I'm not gonna lie. After being gone for 2 or 3 weeks, Steve has a little bit too much power. What has been going on?
November, baby. It's that November action, baby.
See,
we been locked in, baby.
Charles, you haven't been here. They've been dominating me, bro.
We've outplucked him.
Damn.
They're plucky as shit. We missed you. They joined
axis of
together
power,
in a
the
pluck
Mint
fusion
Boys?
dance.
There's a power imbalance
It's shifting.
here.
The power
monster.
and the
This really is a
Midnight
four-way
Boys
balance.
universe is shifting.
All right, what's
Your black pick, you said?
In black. So black, we're down. We're down.
Will? Denzel.
Denzel, Will, and Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. So
I know who you have to
here's
pick.
the deal.
Got to do it.
What do you mean gotta do it?
Pick who you gonna pick.
Well, who you think I'm who
Well,
you think
I can't.
I'm
I don't want to ruin it.
Sydney?
No, it's not gonna be Sydney.
Okay.
I'm gonna zag a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay,
It's not
great.
a bad. It's not a
Great.
bad. It's not a bad. It's not a bad.
I
Zag.
like that.
It's not a bad zag.
That's
He was on the list.
a wonderful,
He was
wonderful
high
pick.
on my list in comedy.
I
High.
had him in comedy.
Biggest movie star in the world in the
I'm gonna
80s.
take Eddie Murphy. I'm gonna take Eddie Murphy in black because I'm gonna tell you something. When we're talking about black fucking stars, he way up there. That's it. Not gonna go on a whole long thing. Now, let's be honest, there's been some down moments.
You didn't like Daddy Daycare?
Fun
No,
Adventures.
but look, to be fair, as a comedian, I shoot comedians a little bit of bail because it's like generally as they get older, the filmography starts to kind of slip a little bit. You know, it's fine. He's a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel Foley was fun.
Dog. I mean, come on.
I like that movie.
I love that
one was
movie.
good.
I didn't like
Yeah.
the third one. Third one stinks. But you know,
Yeah,
what can
third
you
one's
do?
fair. But I like that movie. But in black leading men, like once again, height of his powers, he was super.
Yeah.
He was like a Will Smith. Maybe not quite. I'd have to look and see if the run was quite as long.
Yeah.
The numbers definitely weren't as big as what Will's were, but he was that kind of can't miss guy for a long time. So in black, I'm going Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Good choice.
That's a
All
great
right.
choice.
Jomi, you got
It's my turn.
yeah.
Let's see what we got here. I think I got to go with the not really like a heart pick, but just I'm going superhero.
I already knew it.
Okay.
I already knew it.
I'm taking the GOAT. I'm taking Downey.
All right.
I'm taking Downey.
All right.
This list is actually deeper than I thought when I went to the research. But I mean, you got to take. I mean, Iron Man 1 made money. Iron Man 2 made some money, and then every single superhero movie the guy was in was just gross over being a
He's
billion
the biggest
dollars
superhero star of all time.
all time.
It's like that's it.
You gotta have him.
The single biggest superhero star of all time. That's a great pick.
My GOAT, Robert Downey Jr. He's coming back, guys. Doom, baby.
Yep.
You know, he couldn't say no to that check, that Marvel cash, till he's 90.
New mask.
Till
Same
he's 90.
cast.
Damn. Robert
Hey,
Downey.
before we move on, real quick, we're not dick riders. We're the non-dick ride boys. We
Yes.
don't dick ride.
We don't dick right.
Okay.
All right, well, that's the one.
We
rule.
might
not
gla-
ba-
we
we're
might
not
glaze.
bouncing.
If
We're
we
not
might glaze,
anti-bouncing.
Yeah, we might glaze,
We might
but
glaze.
we won't bounce.
Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Jesus Christ.
Kerm.
I love this energy.
Hey, I'm just letting you guys know. Going forward, we don't dick ride. Okay? However, I'll ask this question. Since the Downey announcement, have we warmed up to the idea of Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU? Are we as down on it as we've ever been? Or are we intrigued? So good, bad, or curious about Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU this
Bad.
many months removed from the announcement?
Bad, it still stings. I still hate it.
I am with the utmost caution optimistic.
I'm yeah.
It's like a razor's edge of like this actually feels like, I know we keep saying make or break for the MCU, but this really feels make or break for the MCU, because I'm like, if you bring him back for this and you potentially undermine what Endgame was, I think that's just legacy destroying. And if they do it right, then cool. But like I don't know how the returns could possibly justify this. I don't know.
I'm good cautious in this, because when it first came out, I was writing like crazy, right? But I think I've come down just like a smidge. I'm still really excited. I can't wait to see where it goes. But at the same time, you can't just give us slop. You just can't give us anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, Robert Downey Jr.'s back, cool. They have to make it work. And I think that there's a good plan in place to make it work. So I like to see it. And if it works, then it's a banger. I'm
Hope
happy
so.
for it. Yeah, hope so. Chuck?
All right, you know what? I'm going with my heart for this next pick.
Yeah.
In comedy, I think the box office numbers speak to themselves. I think his peak was the highest peak for a comedy star.
Scott, yeah, no.
I gotta pick Will Ferrell.
Oh,
Ooh,
thank God.
interessante.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank
Okay,
God.
no. It was
Thank
one
God.
of two.
It was one and two.
It was two.
I
One
was
of two.
between two.
It was one of two.
And I had to go with my heart. Like, I know people are like,
Sure,
leading
sure.
man, Will Ferrell, like, people don't understand. Like,
No,
Anchorman,
Will Ferrell was running the
Talladega
game.
Nights,
Yeah.
Elf.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh, no.
Step
Step
Brothers.
Brothers,
Like,
come on,
The
man.
run is crazy. The run
Crazy
is,
run.
The run is like comedy redefining almost, right?
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the run is crazy. That's a good pick.
That's
Very
a good pick.
good.
That's a
I
very
didn't
good
think
pick.
about
Yeah,
him.
it's very
You
That's
good.
got me
a
scared though,
really-
Charles.
No,
You got me
there
scared
was
for a second.
two. There was two. I
There
know
was
there
two.
was.
And I
He's
was
got
about
to
to
come
pick the
off.
other.
He's got to come
Yeah,
off.
I think he might come off right now
He's
with
gonna
my
come
pick.
off.
All right, Steve.
For comedy, I'm picking Jim Carrey.
That was whoa.
Oh, okay, no. Wait, let her have it. Let her have it.
Wait.
Let her have it. No. That's good. That's
Okay.
good. Jim Carrey, The Mask. You know what I'm saying? Ace
I'm
Ventura.
so confused right now. Jomi and Charles have another guy in there.
Oh, wait, no.
And
fuck,
no.
I
You fucked up. You fucked up.
I did fuck up.
You fucked
So
up.
bad.
You fucked up. It's okay.
I'm trying
It's
to think.
okay.
I
There's
don't know who
only
y'all
one
talking
other
There's
about.
only
pick
one more.
that is similar, if not better than Will Ferrell. But
Wait,
I like
no.
Will Ferrell.
No.
better.
Whoa. No.
I could pick him an
the pick is
Oscar.
in.
I could put him in Oscar.
Could you put him in Oscar?
I think he has. He's won, right?
No. So who would you pick
Who
in
are you
Oscar?
talking about?
Wait a minute. No, I can't. Well,
You can't put him in Oscar.
I
You didn't
could.
win.
He's won.
Best actor?
Best
so.
actor?
Has he?
I don't know who y'all talking about.
No,
Fucking do the draft.
No, he
Steve
didn't win that.
was
That was
like-
Best Supporting.
Was it supporting? Hold on.
That was Best Supporting.
No, he has won.
Well,
He's
that's
won.
not who we're thinking about.
That's not.
That is not who we're thinking
Jomi and I are
about.
thinking
Oh,
the same
okay. Then
person.
never mind. Then all right, great. I'm picking Jim Carrey. I'm
Okay.
sticking with Jim
All right,
Carrey.
Jim Carrey's
Jim
absolutely
Carrey's an icon.
funny.
Icon. Fucking
absolutely
incredible.
funny. Absolutely hilarious.
Okay, wow. We had a
Fireman,
very
I
Fireman
like Jim
Bill.
Carrey, but like, come on, bro.
Fire Marshal Bill,
Fire Marshal Bill. Come on, man.
Ace Ventura,
Ace
The
Ventura.
Mask, Liar.
Man, they used to put Liar on Saturdays on ABC all the time. That movie was funny, bro.
Mhm.
Liar is funny.
Jim Carrey was I know you guys are trying to hate, but Jim Carrey was
No,
Jim
whoa,
Carrey-
whoa,
Jim
whoa,
Carrey-
whoa, whoa,
Wait. I
We're
want
not
to
hating,
know
no
what you
hate.
guys are thinking about. Like, I'm interested in this. Okay,
Let me text you. Let me
Steve
text
is
you. I'm
snaking,
gonna text
right?
you.
So he's got another pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna text you. Yeah, you got another pick.
Okay.
Go for it.
I got another
Steve,
pick.
go ahead and take your pick.
Oh, okay. All right. Damn. It's either for heartthrob, Oscar, or superhero. Okay, I think I'm gonna go Oscar, and a dude that to me just like resonates the Oscars. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, like
Can't
he's in a
believe
movie,
it.
he gets an Oscar. That's what he does.
I keep saying that after every pick. I should stop saying that, but like Daniel Day-Lewis, man.
Yeah.
He should have been like the second off the board in
That
Oscar.
dude is a cheat code. to
Daniel
get
Day-Lewis
Oscars.
just opened his mouth. Someone just handed an Oscar.
Can you get Oscars for whittling shoes in Italy? Because I think you can.
I love how he came out of
still,
retirement for his kid, though.
Best performance I've ever seen.
There will be blood.
The best performance I've ever seen.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm
The
so
best
mad.
single
That's-
actor performance I've ever seen.
He was on my
Yeah.
list too.
He
I
was
thought no
on-
one else. I was like,
No,
I'm
of
gonna be
course
able to get Daniel Day-Lewis.
Nah.
You thought
You
you
know,
could
but-
snipe him low in the
Yeah.
That's
draft?
actually that's really after the Jim Carrey snafu. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's really
okay.
good.
It's really
Really
the
good.
only
Thinking of-
category
you
he
weren't
could be
thinking of
drafted.
What's up? Daniel Lewis is on the
I
list.
must
Oh,
have,
I mean,
have sold on comedy. Who was I thinking?
You didn't
of?
sell
Oh,
Jim
he didn't-
Carrey's
Jim Carrey's
good,
a good pick. Jim
but
Carrey's
it's
a great
not.
pick.
There's two. There's two. People.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
There's two?
Hold on.
But there's Will
Are you-
Ferrell
is it
and there's the
this?
guy we're thinking of.
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
this?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it's that. Yeah.
You're next. You got what do you got left?
Let's see. So I have superhero heartthrob.
In action? No,
No,
not
that's
action.
all I have left.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know what? In superhero? No, wait. And I have Oscar.
Oscar. Oscar's tight.
All right, you know what? An Oscar? Fuck it. I'm gonna just go with my heart. One of my favorite actors of all time.
Mhm.
I'm going with De Niro.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Just like keeping it classic. Like
Very
I'm going
cool.
with De Niro. Like not being cute about it. Just
Yeah.
great. I don't know if he's the most. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. There are actors in Oscar that are probably technically better actors than him, just in terms of just like the roles.
Yeah.
But De Niro, for what he's done for movie history,
Yeah.
the amount of De Niro movies I watch every year, I gotta pick him.
This man. I mean, when I first started working at this company, you know, they were doing the Heat rewatchables, like, you know, the 3 Heat, all that. I was like, whoa, I gotta tune in. Everybody's talking about, brother, that scene with him and Pacino in the diner,
Yeah,
if you know,
all time.
feel that heat around the corner, leave in 30 seconds flat.
You like
That's
that
cinema. Bro, I mean, I love heist movies. I can't believe I hadn't watched
Yeah.
it. I mean, Michael Mann's just doing his thing. The scene with when they robbed the bank with Val Kilmer, like that entire thing. But just like speaking of his performance specifically, amazing. That's the stuff. That's the juice.
All right,
Right there.
Jomi, you're up.
Comedy.
I already know, man.
All right.
Taking the Sandman.
How?
Adam Sandler. And
I'm
comedy.
actually fine with not having that.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Over,
All right, man.
over.
For
You
some-
can. You
and
can.
listen,
Okay.
I'm
No.
not saying, I'm not saying that
Nah.
he doesn't have a backlog of amazing movies, but like to me, there's like the comedic legacy of Adam Sandler just kind of bounces off of me.
Nah, don't do that.
You guys. Jim Carrey is a bigger movie star than Adam Sandler.
Thank you very much.
Who's the better movie star?
Like it,
I think
it-
Jim
I don't-
Carrey.
I don't like it. Jim Carrey and his run. I don't know. This is a good one. Maybe I'm
Jim
jumping
Carrey
to
can
conclusion.
do-
This is a good one.
Jim
Jim
Carrey in
can do
comedy?
Adam Sandler. Like I would be. I'd be interested to know what people think.
And
No,
honestly,
no,
flip
'cause
it on
here's
its
the thing.
ear.
Let's do
Flip it
Adam
on its ear. Who had a better dramatic run out of the two? Jim
It's-
Carrey,
but
Adam
we're just
Sandler.
them in comedy.
They
I
both.
understand
They
that.
both had a decent dramatic run.
Decent dramatic
for
run.
sure.
I would also put Jim Carrey above that.
I would take Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love over any movie that Jim Carrey.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Truman
Mind.
Show.
Oh,
Yep.
come on now.
Truman
Eternal Sunshine
Show.
of the Spotless Mind, The Truman Show. Like Jim Carrey.
No, I love those movies. Those movies
Yes.
are good.
I put
We're
those,
also-
I rank those higher.
We're also we're talking about comedy specifically.
I
He's
understand, I
drafted in the
understand.
Oh
comedy
no,
role.
no. But even comedy specific. If you I would,
Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, The Water Boy, Big Daddy. Like, come on, bro.
He was the biggest
Okay,
comedic
let's
actor.
let's do Jim Carrey. Who's bigger? So Jim Carrey has. Let's
Jim
see.
Carrey
Jim
movies.
Carey
Hang on.
has his biggest movies.
All
I'll
right,
look
The
at Jim.
Mask, Dumb and Dumber, How the Grinch
Yeah,
Stole
Liar,
Christmas,
Liar,
Bruce
Dumb and
Almighty.
Dumber. He's got Bruce Almighty. He's got he's if when you look at
Man
the
on the
films
Moon.
here,
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Nah,
Ace,
it's not
Ace
the same.
Ventura. Like he's
The Cable
There's a-
Guy.
Whoa, Adam Sandler.
Nah, it's not
I
the
just
same.
did this quick.
Nah, y'all
Can you
reaching.
guys guess how much his comedy films have cumulatively made?
Who?
Adam Sandler,
Oh, billions.
$2 billion.
Yeah. No,
How much
I'm
of
not
Jim
saying the
Carrey's
box office isn't behind him. That's not the point.
Yeah, but
I
you-
love the comedic legacy of Jim Carrey way more
No,
than Adam
But you're
Sandler.
zagging.
I do.
You're zagging.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
no,
you're
Jim
zagging.
Carrey's
This is
good.
me.
I feel
This is me.
like here's the thing. I
I'm
love
sticking
Jim
with
Carrey,
me.
Truman Show,
This is
Bottomless
me.
Mind, like I love Jim Carrey, but he's not. Sandler's
Nah, it's
fine.
not the same. It's
It's not the
different
same.
levels.
Shout out to a series of unfortunate
It's
events.
different
So
levels.
Jim Carrey's movies, I don't think that's all of Adam Sandler's movies, by the way.
No,
we skipped a lot.
We skipped a lot.
No. I'm talking about when you said his entire, what's the entire gross of his movies?
His comedic movies, you said?
His comedic. They say I just googled it. It says $2 billion worldwide.
For all of his, that can't be for all of his movies.
He has starred in Hollywood comedy films that cumulatively grossed over $2 billion worldwide. Let's go. I'm going on box office now.
Okay. So
Let's
Jim
see.
Carrey is $4.8 billion.
4.8.
Yeah, but I don't think
Nice.
that's all of Adam Sandler's movies. I don't believe that number.
Oh,
It would
it's
have to be
saying
higher.
right now, worldwide box office Sandler is at $3 billion, but that seems low.
Well, whatever. Well, also remember with Jim Carrey, some of that stuff is Sonic the Hedgehog and all of that stuff like that. So you can't be purely box office. But I knew that, like, at their heights, I feel like Carrey was a little bigger. But I don't know. If you're asking me, I mean,
I think Carrey's
I
got
probably like Adam Sandler's movies better.
I will say,
I
but
would like it.
Sandler's run has been longer though.
Sure.
Carrey kind of bowed out.
Jim Carrey is very
Yeah.
selective, and I love the fact that he's borderline quit acting, except to just be in
to
Sonic
be
movies.
the Eggman, yeah.
That's so funny
Big
to
movie.
me.
I mean, it's
It's a
big
great
movies.
movie.
Adam Sandler has made
A lot of movies.
shit ton of bad movies. guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing: we also,
A
I feel like
mountain
we've
of bad
kind of
movies.
been like with Sandler. We're like, you know what? I'm gonna catch you like every 5 movies.
Mhm.
Maybe
Like,
to every 10.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But he likes to. Okay, so who's up next?
You got two.
I got 2. Okay, so I'm gonna go comedy now. And my guys are skewing a little older,
Okay.
Of course.
and you guys might not remember how big this guy was as a comedy star at his height, but he was huge. He had gigantic comedy movies.
Oh, I
that
know who you're picking.
Everybody loved. I'm going with Robin Williams.
Yes.
Robin, really?
yeah.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go
I
Bill
fucked-
Murray.
I thought
was like,
I thought I
damn.
fucked up. I thought I fucked
I'm
up
going
by
with
not
Robin
picking
Williams.
him.
Robin
but-
Williams was at a time, I think he had 10 movies in a row
Yeah.
that went over $100 million.
10
Like,
movies in
he
a
was
row that
like
went.
a gigantic.
That had to have been in the
comedy star.
90s.
People loved him.
No,
in his
he's
movies.
incredible.
Like,
I
I'm gonna
really did mess
go-
up.
Robin Williams could have took him. Well, you couldn't have taken him in Oscar because he only had supporting. So I guess you couldn't have taken him in Oscar.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robin Williams from TV, Mork and Mindy.
Mhm.
In every
all of his
decade.
movies, even when he was being funny, they always kind of think about it. Aladdin,
Mhm.
like a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Come on
not a leading man's role, but like
Would
to
you
me,
also say that he has more of a better turn in dramatic roles, though?
Yes.
Good
he
Will
has a
Hunting.
lot of films that are dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was that
but like
type
I'm
of
looking
performer.
at some of his best movies that I could call dramatic, and I'm
Almost
like,
like
okay,
Dr. Dolittle.
Awakenings,
Mr. Doubtfire.
What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
He was in Hamlet.
Flubber.
Oh yeah, Flubber. No, but Good Will
Flubber's a
Hunting,
classic.
obviously.
Flubber's a classic.
You
1
like
Hour
Flubber?
Photo.
Jomi?
You didn't fuck with Flubber?
I love
I
You
never
might
Flubber.
have been
saw
too
Flubber.
old.
Yeah, you were too old for Flubber.
Yeah.
He was also
Yeah.
in one of my favorite movies called World's Greatest Dad, and he was a very, very, very good character in that.
Night of the Museum. Oh, he was in Night of the Museum. That's right. He was
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
All right, Rob, that's actually
That's
Icon.
a good pick. That's a
Icon.
great. That's a
Hey,
good pick.
what's your second pick, man?
So my second pick is action,
Okay.
and I'm going to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Great. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
surprised.
Classic.
I'm surprised he went this late. Arnold was in my top 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
I'm going
also.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I guess if you start looking at action stars, I don't want to step on anybody's. I mean, there's so many of these guys that are action stars
Mhm.
that do action movies, but like, my action star, I'm going Arnold Schwarzenegger. And once I realized that nobody was going to pick him, I started picking other people. But I could argue that this is so generational because like Keanu Reeves was the first action star that was drafted in this draft.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, no. Tom Cruise was.
Tom Cruise was.
Oh, Tom Cruise was. Yeah, that makes sense.
and
But
then,
I
and then it was
actually
me.
think Arnold Schwarzenegger is to me he's the actual real action star. Where it's just like when I think of people who embodied what that meant and kind of built
and one
that
other guy.
archetype, it is kind of
It's,
Him and one other guy.
I know the other guy, and so I don't want to. I'm next.
There's another person still on the board that I was like, I'm
But-
surprised he hasn't been picked.
It's either him or my heart,
Go with
right?
your heart.
Go with it.
Because
We're gonna have honorable mentions. Go
that's
with your heart.
true. If I'm going with my heart, because look, I like the Rambo movies. That's actually, you know what? Would you qualify the Rocky movies as action movies?
They became that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
At first, no, but then they became that for sure.
Then you got to take Stallone.
There was
Sure.
two. There was two.
I mean, they became that. I mean, like at first,
Yeah.
they the first one wasn't, and the
Yeah.
second one arguably wasn't, but then after that, they definitely became action movies.
But yeah, between Rocky and Rambo, you got to take Stallone.
Mhm.
I think. I wanted to go. We all picked our action guys, right?
Yeah.
I'm
We'll do
surprised.
honorable
I'm gonna
mentions
leave it. I'm
again.
gonna leave it,
I'm surprised Bruce didn't get picked.
brother.
There's also one more.
brother.
That
I love Die Hard, bro. But then I'm trying to think outside of that.
we're missing a very big one in action that actually I don't know. if I
Outside
can-
of Die Hard, like I love the.
No, he got some.
Wait, which ones?
We'll say that for honorable mentions.
Okay.
Say that for
No,
honorable
I'm going.
mentions.
I got to go with Stallone for action.
Okay.
I mean, between Rambo.
Yeah.
Man, my daddy loved me him some Rambo movies, man.
Yeah,
First Blood,
Rambo is big with the dads.
bruh.
But yeah,
is.
Rambo's cold,
Rambo
bro.
is
I
big with
love
the
that
dads
shit.
because Rambo got pushed too far,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then he had to fuck over people. You know,
Yeah.
and then he comes
Man
back
on the
and he's
edge.
like, my daddy would be like, they made him a weapon. Now what they expect
They made him a
weapon. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like they spent all that time making him a weapon. Now what,
Yeah.
he's supposed to go work at Sam's Club? Nah, a killer needs to kill. I'll be like, Dad, calm the
He
fuck
needs
down.
to-
Well, also, what's really weird is like First Blood is such a down to earth movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's
And
very
then
gritty.
it's like, oh, I feel bad for like they just need to leave him alone. And then every other movie's just like
action.
blows.
Yo, that the
Rambo,
last
it's just First Blood's just a good movie. You
The
push me
last-
too far, nothing, that's over. And then after that, they let Rambo off the leash.
yeah, the most recent Rambo movie is nuts.
Oh,
It's not
man.
good.
They love it. They love it.
all right, so
who's
it's my
next?
pick. We've all waited in superhero, and I do think that there is a 1 and there's a 2.
Yes.
There is a 2 and everybody else. I'm going Hugh Jackman.
Interesting.
Oh.
I know who your pick was. I know who your pick
Oh,
is.
you already know.
I
Yeah,
know
we
what
already
your
know-
pick
we already
is.
know
My
that
pick,
one.
I didn't have to worry about my pick getting
You never had to worry about your
Yeah,
pick.
you never had to.
He's on my list. That was
Yeah,
third on my
I
list.
didn't have to worry about my
Third. There's
pick
a
getting
guy-
drafted. My
who's
pick is
second?
clear.
When
But
you
Hugh
hear it,
Jackman
you'll
is a
get it.
fucking fantastic pick.
Hugh Jackman is a great
Hugh
pick.
Jackman's a great pick.
Because when you really think about it, like the first X-Men movie is not about him, it's about the X-Men.
But
Like,
that made him a star.
and they were like, oh, no, this is the
It's
guy.
this guy.
And then literally every single movie of X-Men either is about Wolverine or they shoe Wolverine in there.
Oh,
Because
I
of
mean,
what
he did.
what happened
Bro,
this
I'm gonna be
year,
real with you.
whether I
That
like
first
that
X-Men movie, that bitch about Wolverine to me.
Really?
Yeah.
We're looking
Like,
back at
He
it?
the main character of that bitch to me. Like, I mean, maybe it's not about him, but like,
Yeah.
No,
I
but
think
by
because-
by
that
X2,
bitch
you're like,
about
oh, this is
Wolverine to
Wolverine.
me.
Well, I think because of like we watch the movie and we're like, oh, Hugh Jackman, he's got some. This is good. And then by X2, you're like, oh yeah, no, this is about him. When you look back at it, because of his gravitas, because of what he's doing in the movie, it feels about him, but it's not. Right? It's about the X-Men and their plea. But because of what Hugh Jackman did, the writer saw it, the director saw it, but was like, bet. Boom, that's the guy. We'll make this whole universe revolve around him. And for the next, decade, till he's 90, we're getting Wolverine
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's that guy.
He's the Downey of
X-Men, yeah.
X-Men.
Oh,
He is
I
just,
mean-
like that's a great pick.
That's
If
the man.
you told me that they are going to bring him back for those final 2 Avengers films, I'd be like, of course they are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm going.
Oh
Jack.
my nigga, he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He for sure coming
Oh,
back.
like you pencil him in. He's coming back.
Yeah, Secret Wars, it's
Y'all,
happening.
they gonna get. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. They gonna get this money from y'all.
Hey, it's gonna
Y'all
be crazy.
around here complaining and all of that stuff. Y'all gonna spend this money. They gonna get this
Yeah.
money from y'all.
Let me when the
Y'all gonna
trailer
spend
drop,
this money.
and
Okay.
it's
Yeah, they gonna like.
and it's
Wolverine,
Hulk
the last
and Spider-Man.
But no, they gonna they gonna
Oh,
get
Tobey
this money.
Maguire's in this bitch.
Bro, when it's Hulk and Spider-Man, and then you hear the snicked of Wolverine claws, you see the claws on screen with Spider-Man, bro, whole thing gonna go crazy.
It's over.
I wouldn't be
$3 billion.
surprised if they do some dumb shit like Wolverine's body and his DNA gives birth to the X-Men or something
God.
something stupid.
Oh
Like,
my God.
Like they take him, he can't die.
They would
his
do
arm
that.
regenerates, and oh my God, some mutant gene, whatever, something stupid. But he in these bitches. Plus, bruh, he said he wanted to do it. By the way, Chris Evans when I saw Red One bring in like $12, I'm like, Steve, you know what it should have said
He's
at
coming
the
back.
end of Red One at the credits?
Captain
Captain
America
America
will
will
return.
Steve Rogers will return. That's
Steve
what it
Rogers
should've
will
said. At the end of Red One, it should have
Oh.
said Steve Rogers will return.
Oh my
He's
God,
coming
bro.
back, bro.
He's got to. He's got
Christ
to.
alive.
You know, they're not fucking with your features, bro.
No?
Like,
It's tough. Can't win them all. Yeah,
All right,
can't win them
Steve,
all.
who are your 2 final picks?
Okay, I've got Heartthrob and Superhero. Let's pick of the litter here.
Mhm.
Heartthrob, again, I'm going with a generational one of mine. Long past, but this was probably one of the biggest heartthrobs and biggest movie stars that would have also been cut short. Heath Ledger.
Ooh.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
Big deal.
That's good.
That's good.
It's on the list. It's on the
like,
list.
I keep thinking back, like, I've seen A Knight's Tale. I've seen 10
Steve
Things
was
I Hate
a
About
sneaky
You.
Good draft.
I've seen the things that he's been in, and then I think to right now, and I think of all the things that he could have been in. And the
Mhm.
things and the movies that would have been made for him.
Yeah.
And it's like I would have picked him an Oscar by now because he would have gotten like 20 of those
Mm.
by then with the amount of things that guy can do. He was a born movie star. And then in Superhero, I could just really piss Van off, but I'm not going to do that.
You could.
You could.
It's a
I'm not
it's a
gonna do
deep
that.
category.
You could.
Do it.
I'm actually not
For the
going to.
I feel like
content.
you should.
No, I'm
You
not.
definitely
I feel
should.
like you definitely should.
No.
Because there's only one other option. And I think it's like a fair, but like if we're being serious.
No,
you know?
I could be very serious.
Be serious. You got to do it.
It's hard though because there's actually a lot more.
There isn't.
Like,
Not
yeah, there
really.
is.
Not really. There's
Not
only
really.
one more.
No, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to do what I want.
Go for it.
All right.
You just handed him to win, by the way. You give it to
Give
him.
it to him to win? No.
You guys, I've already won.
That's okay.
I don't know,
I
man.
got
The
I
Will
got
Smith
Hanks,
cruise.
Pitt, Eddie Murphy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Y'all
Will
That's
Smith,
fine.
dog. I got
Will
Will
Smith
Smith,
and
Cruz,
Cruz.
Farrell.
It's tough. It's tight.
Jack-
You got
Jackman,
the
come on,
second best niggas of all the niggas that I. You know what? If we let your guys pick, they pick my team.
They pick my team.
Actually, honestly though, seriously, all jokes aside, it's gonna be generational. It just depends on what.
It
Yeah.
kind of is.
Like,
Yeah, you know.
it's all of this is generational. I pick the guys I grew up watching. You pick the people you
And
grew
that's
up watching.
and this is the thing. Like,
It's so many great.
half
leading
of
men.
these
There
are
also
ones that
people
I
that are
want-
not on these that are not on draft boards
yeah.
that are interesting to me. There's some really big stars that aren't on the draft boards.
And I'm picking this guy because he is technically in them, and also I like equate him to a leading man of his time
Oh, I know
that
who
is
you're
ushered
picking.
in through that,
Okay.
and that's Christian Bale.
Oh, that's not where I thought you would
Oh.
go.
Christian Bale's
Okay.
Batman ushered him into a level of stardom that like carries him through Nolan movies, that carries him through everything else that he does.
Nah, I'm not buying what
I
you're
don't
selling.
think I'm gonna pick who you guys think I'm gonna pick.
Okay.
Interesting. Wait, I mean, okay, well, we'll see.
Okay.
Interesting. Because I feel like we'll get to it when we get there.
Yeah.
I like the Batman. Obviously, love Dark Knight.
What does he know about cameras?
Enjoy the no. It's like Bale in those movies. He's good. Like, you know, I want to say great. In like we're talking superhero.
I think so.
You think he's great in those movies?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you feel. Let you have that.
That's fine.
I don't like.
Wow, it lands with a thud over here.
I mean, first of all, no. I think he's really good in the movies. I think he's great in the movies, but it's the Batman franchise that asked Batman to do the least.
This is true.
But that's what makes it good, right?
Yeah.
It's the Batman franchise that asked Batman to do the least.
I
But
feel like
he's-
the
he
villains
is
carry
great
those
as
movies.
Batman. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him as Batman. He plays Batman perfectly for the world that he's in, but that Batman does the least amount of heavy lifting than pretty much any other Batman that I've seen.
What's the best part of the best movie in that trilogy?
yeah, it doesn't have to do with him.
Yeah,
But he's also on my draft board. So
so, I mean, sure, but like,
that guy's also there. So
I mean, you know, I
I
guess.
don't know if that's it could be the best part, but like there are action scenes, Batman on the Bat Pod,
that's great.
you know, but it's hard. Like really, there's a transcendent generational performance in one of those movies that I don't know if there's any Batman actor that you could put him up against that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Keaton held his own against Jack Nicholson, but what Heath Ledger did with the Joker is like, it was nuts. When that first came out, I was like, there's no way this is gonna work. And then one of my friends went to a screening and my boy Jeff went, no, Van, no, you don't understand. I was like, what? He's like, Heath Ledger is the Joker. Like I was like, no way. He was like, no, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it. Heath Ledger he's not playing, he is the Joker. Like, better than anything you've ever seen. And then he sold it so hard and we went there and it was everything he said it was.
It was something that you genuinely couldn't comprehend until you saw it.
So I don't blame Christian Bale for that. Like,
no.
He was in front of a buzzsaw. You know?
Yeah.
All right, so I have one more. I don't know if you guys will allow me to pick this guy in Heartthrob, but I want to go old school. Can I get Harrison Ford across the board?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
In Heartthrob.
Absolutely.
I didn't know.
Definitely.
Like,
for sure.
All right, I'm going with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, yeah.
I'm glad to see him in the draft.
Yeah.
He could have been.
Glad he made it.
He wasn't getting that Oscar.
Whoa, he's not.
Glad he got here.
Guys, he's not a Make-A-Wish kid. He's one of our finest
No,
actors.
no. But what I'm saying though is like maybe he's never won an Oscar.
Yeah,
Right?
never won an Oscar.
And so he's not black.
He's not a defining action star.
He's not really a superhero unless you call.
I was
like,
gonna
indie.
try, but I couldn't really.
I mean, Han's not really a superhero, but
But
You could've
Han,
done
Indiana
action.
Jones,
You could do
like,
action.
he could do
He
super.
can,
Red
but
Hulk.
like he's not up
He-
against like the Sylvester Stallones or the Tom Cruises of the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in a big. I mean, those indie movies. I mean, you could say action,
For sure.
but
Mhm.
Heartthrob is. Of
If
course,
there was
ask
a
Mallory
Johnny
if he's-
I'm about to say
Everyman category
Mallory
of
would
this?
put him in
Yeah.
Heartthrob. So
Yeah.
you know,
Absolute Heartthrob.
That's good.
Yeah.
I also have Heartthrob left, and I'm between two minds here. I think I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna go for Heartthrob, Marlon Brando.
Oh,
that's
I like that.
great
Joe. That's
fucking
classy.
choice.
Yeah.
That's
Marlon
Brando.
classy.
You know, we
Like,
remember
great choice. Doc
Prime Marlon
Walsh,
Brando.
Prime Brando
Senior
was
year.
nuts.
Doc Walsh senior year plays Streetcar Named Desire. It was like Martin Brando was fine. We all like, what you talking about? It's a dude from The Godfather. We seen it. And she's like, no. And she put it on and we watched it. Maybe the best looking human. Like, great.
Yeah,
choice.
he's nuts.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Charles
Beautiful.
likes it. Charles, you like Brando.
I love Brando. That's a very classy choice.
Yeah. What's the sexiest Brando ever was to you, Charles?
Streetcar, right?
Brando
Apocalypse
sexiest.
Now.
I want
Godfather.
everybody to. They say that Brando let James Baldwin hit.
Oh, that's been known.
Well,
Yeah,
didn't,
that's been known.
And
Quincy Jones, rest in peace, was like
Wait, didn't
it
Richard
was Baldwin. It was
Richard
Richard
Pryor?
Pryor.
Richard
Pryor?
Pryor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit Richard Pryor. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. 80s were a crazy time.
Crazy time.
Go watch Brando read for James Dean's role in I think it's Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh, yeah.
Great looking movie star guy. These guys were movie stars, man.
Man,
Fucking movie stars.
All right, who is your superhero
we ain't
pick?
gotta say it.
Christopher Reeve.
Of
Yeah,
course, of
duh.
course. Yeah.
All right, man.
Come on,
I was
man.
gonna
that
pick that. If I
the
was gonna
most
pick that,
telegraphed of all time.
I know.
He's number 2. The reason I put him above a Jackman is because because they've never really got Wolverine until Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve is Superman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, we've never seen somebody else try to be Wolverine. We see other people try to be Superman, and I think you would agree, don't hold the same water. They can't hold the same water that he does.
So, not gonna be hyper verbose. I feel like I've been a little bit too much. I'll say this: just born to play a character.
Mhm.
No one will get it. Good luck to Corn Sweat and the rest of the guys. He was 6'4". He was chiseled. He was strong and athletic, but he was also very truthful in his real life. You want to hear a truthful answer, go listen to Christopher Reeve talk about Marlon Brando and working with him on the David Letterman show. He
It was nuts.
He
It was
emanated
great.
everything that the role needed.
Yeah.
and I would have drafted him first. Robert Downey Jr. is the biggest superhero actor of all
For
time,
sure.
and Hugh Jackman, honestly, I didn't even think about him. He's probably second. But the quintessential superhero actor to me is Christopher Reeve. He is like Superman.
Yeah.
Now, you could say that if you're talking about just leading men, that maybe the rest of his career wasn't as good as some of these. I mean, fucking Hugh Jackman is a star. Hugh Jackman is a star without Wolverine, right?
I mean,
I feel like
yes.
Wolverine put him into the forefront, but I mean, like,
Wolverine put him
he
on
was
the
already a
roster.
stage actor, man. You know what I'm
What was
saying?
the musical that just came out with Zac Efron that he was in that
Oh,
did?
The
Greatest
Greatest Showman.
Showman?
Greatest
Oh my
Showman
God.
did numbers,
Changed
bro.
lives. He changed lives.
Right. And then
Yeah.
what's the other one? The magician one?
The Prestige.
The
Prestige.
The Prestige. He's in a lot
Also,
of
what's the
fucking movies
boxing
that-
one he's in? Real
Real
Steel.
Steel moves, bro.
Real Steel's great.
Real Steel
I like
moves.
that fucking movie, dog.
Real Steel's awesome.
I saw a tweet
Bro,
after
why we
the
didn't
Mike
fuck with Real
Tyson.
Steel, bro? Real Steel was that shit.
Real Steel was great.
I saw a tweet after the Mike
It's a
Tyson
Rock
Jake
and
Paul
Sock
fight
Robots
was
movie.
like, man, I'm gonna go put on a real fight for Real Steel. And I was like, I ain't mad at you. By the way, directed
fuck
by
with
Steve
Real
Levy,
Steel.
Sean Levy.
Sean
Y'all be
Levy?
hating. Yeah, y'all be hating.
All right, come on.
Y'all be
Let's
hating.
not-
Um,
All right, what's your last pick, man?
that's
That was
it.
Yeah.
Wait, that was your last pick?
yeah, that was the last pick.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So,
Schwarzenegger. I'll go. Schwarzenegger, Williams, the fucking 8. I'm old as shit, dog. Bro, I legitimately did not pick one person that was born.
Not even
in
a
the
90s
70s
run
or
in here.
the 70s.
Man, I
Yeah,
I wanted to pick Bruce for action, Bruce Willis, but I don't think
yeah.
it's that.
Wait, before we go over like our list, honorable mentions: Bruce Willis not getting picked.
And
He
action.
you missed Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Also, in Heartthrob, I thought the number one pick was gonna be Matthew McConaughey because his run was incredible.
No, this is my list
Ryan
for
Gosling?
Heartthrob.
He had a special list.
We had
Gosling was on the list.
Richard Gere, Cary Grant, Paul Newman, Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
So you can't
The fact
The
that
ladies
I will say
love
the fact
Channing
that
Tatum.
neither Paul Newman or Robert Redford
Yeah.
like
On my
drafted.
list.
Sean is gonna like the fact that neither one of those were drafted.
We'll
those
never
guys
be on
are
the big pick again.
Legendary heartthrob.
he's gonna cut.
No. But here's the thing: if we're being honest, I'm trying to win this draft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
Yeah.
feel you.
You know, Newman would win you the draft on Big
you
Pick.
that.
Yeah, Newman will get you the numbers on Big Pick.
Ringerverse, we got to go a little bit more. current general.
Newman was on the list. Shout out Doc Hudson in Cars. for
Pacino didn't
Heartthrob
get picked.
to get picked.
Shocking.
I had Orlando Bloom in Heartthrob, but like we start throwing names around. It's like he can't.
He can't.
He's not-
no.
yeah.
Honestly, he
Not
got
up
too
to
much
much.
shit going on. The real heartthrob pick, but I couldn't just morally is Johnny Depp. Like,
Yeah, we don't need
There was a time.
Yeah.
There was a time.
What the fuck? New America. Pick Johnny Depp if you want.
They not.
Like,
Yeah.
he's like,
What are they
he's
gonna do?
in
Cancel
movies,
you?
Okay. He's in. I'm not doing it.
Hating is a form of dick riding.
We're not gonna.
Hating
if you
is a
wanna
form
pick
of
Johnny
dick
Depp,
riding.
pick fucking Johnny Depp. There's a bunch of movies.
Question for you,
I'll say
Van.
The only I would say in Oscar because maybe that's where Pacino would have gone. Probably.
Yeah.
So
Nicholson?
Oscar is Tom
Nicholson.
Hanks, Leo, De Niro, Daniel Day-Lewis.
I had Philip Seymour in there as well.
I had PHS
did
there
too.
too. I had PHS
So-
on the list.
The question is, would you put Pacino and Oscar above De Niro, Daniel Day-Lewis, Leo, or Hanks? Maybe Leo.
Maybe
Put him over
Leo.
Leo.
maybe Leo.
Maybe Leo.
But actually, I don't
Maybe
know.
Leo. But it's
Yeah.
not clear.
It's not clear.
Here's the thing. Did we fuck up? Did someone fuck up by not picking Philip Seymour Hoffman?
It's tough. Like that's really only what I would have picked. Put
Probably.
him in, but then he's
But then
above.
if you don't put him, if you don't put him
it
in Oscar,
sucks because he passed away, and like I
Yeah.
feel like he had like another like 5 more Oscars
There's
to
only one
get.
guy on the list that acts better than him.
There's what?
Daniel
There's
Day-Lewis.
only one guy on the list. That's
Daniel
Daniel
better
Day Lewis,
than him.
yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis. It's the only guy on this whole
But like
fucking
Philip
list that's better
Seymour,
than
if he even
Seymour.
had another 5 years,
But
he
even
would have
as-
gotten 2 more Oscars.
brother,
like he's
I mean,
Titan.
speaking of like Mission Impossible, like the third one kind of
Jesus
revitalized.
Christ.
Brother, that was the first time I ever seen him.
Oh, he's
It
incredible.
changed my life. I was like, who's
and
this
he's
man?
funny as shit too.
Along Came Polly?
Along Came Polly.
Rayman!
fucking Boogie Nights.
Now what? Oh, what's his
Dude's
role
fantastic.
in not Boogie Nights? What's the second one? Magnolia.
Magnolia.
He's
Yeah.
amazing in Magnolia, bro.
But just some guys that aren't on here. Mark Wahlberg isn't on here.
I'm not putting my
Okay,
on.
no.
He completely fucked over Boston.
Ben Affleck and Damon.
David.
Affleck and Matt Damon didn't make it. Like I said, Johnny Depp isn't on there, Bruce Willis isn't on there, Vin Diesel isn't on there, The Rock.
The Rock not on there. Question for you, Van.
What?
If Christopher Reeve got picked, if Steve had taken Christopher Reeve, who would you have picked for superhero?
It's a good question. I might have gone
Keaton?
Huh?
Keaton?
I might have gone Keaton.
I thought I thought Wesley Snipes.
I might have gone Snipes. It's tough.
It's tough.
But like there was a lot of guys out there in the Marvel situation that you could have gone with.
Really? Would you like Chris Evans?
You could take Chris Evans if you want to lose.
That's what I mean.
I wasn't going to pick Chris Evans.
He was not.
Not after Red One.
Not after Red. I mean, like,
Chris Evans is a gigantic fucking. You could take Chris Evans.
No. If you want to be like, he's played like, if you want to be like really technical, he's played like a hell of a ton of superhero movies, like The Losers, Push.
And you'd argue he's really
Fantastic Four.
What's the best thing that he's in that isn't a superhero thing? And I'm not counting Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
Knives Out?
That's
Knives
not
Out.
a superhero thing?
Yeah, probably Knives Out.
It's probably Knives Out, I think.
It's probably Knives Out.
Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer.
Oh, there we go.
That's right.
It's Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Is fucking awesome.
Dog,
you know what?
movies.
But you know what else though? You know who I could have chose? I could have chose in superhero. I could have took Tobey Maguire. He's on my board.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess.
Nobody took Tobey Maguire.
Nobody
Why?
took Tobey.
What you mean?
My thing is, and like, so because, and we talk about this, I think Wesley, and you remember we had the YouTube video exclusive. Check it out if you haven't, about Blade on YouTube, about like Wesley Snipes being like a star. And like for me as a kid, I never saw that, right? But y'all were like, nah, Blade is A1. It needs to be in the theaters. It needs to be this. I think we've seen Spider-Man movies after Toby with Andrew and Tom. And I guess they haven't hit the same highs as them, but like Spider-Man's always been popular with or without Toby.
Oh, they've made more money. The Tom.
Well, if we're being honest, the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are aging far worse than
it's
the
not
Tobey
even
Maguire.
close.
Yeah.
That's not even close. Like he's right.
And I don't disagree, but that's why I'm like, I feel like Wesley is Blade. So if you came and like, I'm picking Wesley Snipes because Blade, it's like boom, like that makes more sense to me than I'm picking Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man. Whereas like the movies age well and they're good. Like I'm not gonna disrespect that, but like I feel like Wesley is Blade, whereas Tobey as Spider-Man is like you're picking him on the movies, not on Tobey. You know what I mean?
My last question, is it an indictment of modern Hollywood that I don't think any of us pick someone who is like under 30 or 35?
They're just not there yet. It takes a while.
Damn, man.
Well, actually, you know what? No, you're right.
Are they even under 40?
Some of these guys
we didn't even pick
already
someone under 40, bro.
Before. Yeah, some of these guys were already stars.
Nobody talked
like
about
before.
Timmy, Adam
The
Driver.
only people that were under 40 are dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, even Chadwick was 42.
Yeah.
Nah, he was like 44 when he passed away.
Yeah.
Heath was under 40.
Yeah, it's looking rough out
Heath was
there.
under 40.
Hey man, Timmy doing his thing though, you know what I mean? Doom.
No. Here's the
Give
thing.
Timmy some years.
The real question for Timmy, if he gets out his Bob Dylan movie, then he's minted. Like, if he can convince people to go
You think
see
the Bob
that
Dylan movie is the one?
No,
I'm not
I
going
don't
to
think
see,
it's
I'm not
gonna-
gonna see
no, I
that
don't think
movie
it's
and
gonna
not
be
think about
good.
Walk Hard.
I don't
That's
think
an art piece. That's an art piece.
the Bob Dylan movie,
Yeah,
it
you
don't
think
look
so?
like an art piece.
Well, this is a good question. I'll ask you because I look at the Bob Dylan movie as an art piece, but maybe it's not. Outside of IP, what kind of movie makes you a star now? Like,
I don't
Glenn
know.
Powell came along with the rom-com and that shit really kind of pushed him over the edge. But outside of the IP stuff, if we're so sick of the IP stuff, if the IP stuff, and Dune is IP, right?
Yes.
But if we're so sick of the IP stuff and we don't want to see that anymore, but we still want to see movie stars become movie stars, like what makes you a star? What kind of role makes you a star now? What kind of movie makes
What
you
I
a
think
movie
you
star?
actually need is you need a A24 neon adjacent movie like an Anora. Anora is a star-making performance where we're just like,
You're right.
We went from kind of knowing her name is Mikey Madison.
Mm-hmm.
From kind of knowing who she was, I'd seen her before, to it's like, oh no, not only is she gonna win an Oscar, but she can have any role. That similar with Zendaya in Euphoria. It wasn't a movie, but it was in that milieu of like now.
That artsy. Yeah.
Same thing with
So
Jenna Ortega.
I agree. I think it's a star-making term for her too. I wonder if it makes her a movie star, meaning normally you get that movie where
I see what you mean.
and this is an interesting question. Let's think about this more. So if Steel Magnolias is the movie that like I think this came out before Pretty Woman. If Steel Magnolias is the movie that makes you go, hey, I love Julia Roberts. I want to see everything that she does. Then she comes out in Pretty Woman, and Pretty Woman is the movie that. Which is the one that makes you a star? Because
No.
What's the thing that's
I'm like, that is a fucking star. She sizzled on the screen. I'm not so sure that the next movie that she puts out, that everybody will run to go see it though.
Yeah.
I think it's
no. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying
No.
when we think
this makes
about
sense.
what makes a star.
No,
like,
it
what
makes
are we
sense.
even
I think
talking about.
if I'm thinking about it, and maybe you guys don't watch soccer, but just bear with me for a second. Like, for example, Neymar was at Santos, right? Before he came to Barcelona. He was putting up crazy numbers at Santos. If you like look and you go like, oh, that young guy, he's got it. We bring him to the big club in Barcelona with all the eyes on him. Can he replicate what he did on the smaller scale, like an A24? Right? You bring him to the big machine, you put him in front of everybody, the bright lights, can he do it? And obviously it works. So like kind of your point, it's the exact same thing.
But what I'm saying is, don't be fucking surprised if you see that Mikey Madison.
Mikey Madison.
Mads Mikkelsen
didn't get picked.
Mads Mikkelsen.
But don't be surprised, because she's fantastic, but don't be surprised if you read in the trades 3 weeks from now that she's been cast as like Shadowcat.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I'm saying?
she would be a good
Don't be surprised if you see in the trades that
would
you know
gotta
what
be
I'm
great.
saying? That she's playing Rachel Summers or something like that. Like don't, because
That would be awesome.
you know, when you're talking about making stars and stuff, like what kind of roles, Honora to me is the Pretty Woman of our time, but it's too aggressive. We live in a more aggressive time for the movie to be as well loved as Pretty Woman was.
Even if we're talking about someone like Jeremy Allen White, he hasn't had a movie yet that was a star-making performance. Like, he's a star, but he's not a movie star yet.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, same thing.
Yeah.
There's not like so. Anyway,
if we would have had an up-and-comer like category in this, who goes? Because
it's Timmy and Glenn and everyone else.
That's my thing, right?
Yeah.
You take Timmy.
No, Timmy, Glenn. We can't. Zendaya. We didn't do the leading women draft.
Timmy, Glenn, Joseph Quinn, maybe
not
Paul
Joseph
Mescal.
Quinn.
Not
Joseph Quinn needs more time.
You don't think Joseph Quinn?
Joe Quinn needs more time.
You don't take Tom Holland, right?
No.
But then, like, who's
Where
those
we at
other
on-
two spots?
Where we at on Austin Butler?
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah.
He's in there.
I hate
He's in
him
there.
because we know what he sound like. I watched Zoe 101 growing up when he was doing the
all know
Elvis
that
accent.
Stop hating on Butler.
When he was doing the Elvis accent for 3 years.
Come on, bro.
I was like, bro, I seen iCarly, bro. You can't fool me. Stop playing with me.
No, Michael B. Jordan is probably in there too.
Up and coming?
Oh, Mike could have definitely been in this draft.
He could have been in this draft. I don't know about up and coming.
Well, he's not up and coming.
He's
no
up
more.
and coming. Yeah, like I'm talking like
40 years old.
you take.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
Like, 38.
is
It's like,
40?
you know, it's like is like, yeah, but Mike could have been.
We could have done.
Mike
Someone
could
could
have
have
been in
done
this draft
Daniel.
in black.
Daniel
Somebody could have
Kaluuya
definitely taken Mike.
sneakily has been in
Steve.
movies.
Yeah. Steve
Yeah.
drafted Denzel, yeah. So Steve off the hook with that. I wanted to see who Steve took him.
You could have took John
But
David
Black was
Washington.
pretty well represented. It was Eddie Murphy, Chadwick Boseman, Will Smith, Denzel Washington. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right,
we
let's
do our
read.
thing.
Let's read before we get out. Let's read. So Van, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robin Williams, Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, Eddie Murphy, Christopher Reeve, Jomi, Sylvester Stallone, Adam Sandler, Leonardo DiCaprio, Marlon Brando, Chadwick Boseman, Robert Downey Jr. I had Tom Cruise, Will Ferrell, Robert De Niro, Harrison Ford, Will Smith, Hugh Jackman. Steve had Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey, Daniel Day-Lewis, Heath Ledger, Denzel Washington, Christian Bale.
Man, I'm definitely coming in last, but I think
This
No,
is the
actually,
first.
I like every single team.
that's what I'm.
This-
but
yeah,
that's what I'm
This is
saying.
the first
Yeah,
time
I
where
feel
I'm like,
like-
this is balanced.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
coming
You're
last.
splitting
just 'cause,
hairs
like,
with who wins here.
Because when you listen, you can be like, I sold on Tom Cruise. I'll fully admit that. But I think in terms of like a balance, definitely sold on Cruise. I'll admit that till the
Yeah,
cows
yeah.
come
also,
home.
the problem is like, what is the audience going to reward? Because it's like box office, acting ability.
I think I come in last, honestly.
No,
I think
acting,
I
but
do.
you got Daniel
You got
Day.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
Daniel
bro.
Day-Lewis.
That's-
It-
I know,
Daniel
but, like,
Day-Lewis.
it's
light.
I would say,
And
You got
Daniel
him in the
Day-Lewis and
fourth round.
Denzel is
Yeah.
crazy.
You got him in like the third or fourth round. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did draft Denzel.
You know?
yeah.
The-
I would say no. It's a good draft. The only pick that that sticks in my craw in the whole thing is Keanu Reeves as action star number 1.
Why?
He's not number one. It was Tom Cruise number 1.
He was drafted in the first round.
Nigga, fuck all that. He shouldn't have been drafted.
Well, if we're, no, but if
He
we're
should have
being,
been
Actually,
drafted.
no, that's not true.
It's-
Whoa,
Are you
whoa,
sa-
whoa,
are you-
whoa, whoa,
That's
whoa.
not
Are
true.
you
That's not
saying
true.
that
That's
that's
not
a
true.
Geordie
I'm wrong. I'm
LaForge?
wrong. He's got 3 iconic action roles, and most other guys don't. He has
Yeah.
Okay.
Neo, he has
John Wick?
and
Yeah.
he has
Point Break.
Speed Dude.
And Speed.
Speed
If you
guy.
want to call it a Jordan LaForge, I don't.
It's not Jordy LaForge. Oh, come on. There'll never be another Jordy LaForge. It's impossible. Jordy LaForge is the worst draft pick in any draft of anything
I
ever.
stand on
Like,
it.
he's-
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Guys, he's not good with girls.
guys, guys,
I'm going to kill him
not
with
good
this girls.
play with a plume.
Was that our first draft too?
It was one of
It
our
It
was
was
our
not
first
our
draft.
first draft.
It was
Matter of
one of
fact,
them.
do me a favor. Put in right now before we take it away. The post credits on this one. Play the Jordy LaForge. On post credits. Play the Jordy LaForge pick
For those who
audio.
don't know,
And then also play on video. Play the video because watch all of us back in the era when we were still trying to be nice to each other. Yeah,
we're like, Steve. I think that might have been the thing where it's like we stopped being nice after that. That broke
Yeah,
the
that
seal.
was-
That broke the seal.
that was the moment that was the moment where we were like, nah, we got to talk to each other like brothers. That was the moment we was like, we got to. Like, I don't know, man. And it was Jomi too. Wait a minute, this is so fucking funny, y'all. It was Jomi too. I was like, okay, because Charles of all people was like, good pick.
Yeah.
Jomi was like,
He's like, oh, yeah,
Jomi
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. All right. That's a wrap. On Saturday, Mid-Vember continues as Steve and Jomi continue their breakdown of Arcane Season 2. On Tuesday, House of Art deep dives Doom Prophecy, which I'm going to try to watch, and I got shit else to do. Our producers are Steve, the architect.
Watch Arcane
Ahlman,
instead.
Jonathan Bishop Kermah, and Aleya SOB Zenieris. Jomi, the explainer Adeniran on social, hashtag Jomi Jomai. Oh, I like that.
Jomi Joma.
Jomi Jomai.
Not Blue Sky
Visual
Jomi.
production from
Blue Sky
Arjuna,
Jomi?
the Watcha Ramgopal. Chuck, first time in a long time, take us out.
Ooh. Damn, I'm rusty.
Need it.
Hey,
Missed you, big dog.
bring it home.
The Midnight Boys don't bounce. The Midnight Boys don't glaze. Shout out to Denzel. We could do this for days.
I think it's my pick now because
Correct.
I'm back on the top. I don't have 2 picks yet. All right, I'm gonna swerve a little bit here because I'm gonna divert away from comic books and comic book characters to the world of television and science fiction. This TV show meant a lot to me as a kid growing up, and I think this is probably one of the coolest characters. When you talk about Star Trek, I grew up watching The Next Generation, and I don't think there was a character to me that was any cooler than the chief engineer of the USS Enterprise, Geordi LaForge.
Ooh. Pretty good pick.
Played with a plume by LeVar Burton. He was so smart. He was weird around girls, which who can't relate. And he would often have great adventures with Data in the holodeck playing Sherlock Holmes. He was like one of my favorite characters of all time.
Van, why are you looking at Steve like that?
Jomi's looking really skeptical at me.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
That's.
That's
I'm not gonna
tough.
lie to you, Steve. That's tough.
That's tough.
That's
Talking about. Why do y'all hate
Listen,
Star Trek?
let me be clear.
What's
Let me
wrong
be
with
clear.
Star Trek? What's
I
wrong with
love,
Jomi?
I love LeVar Burton. That's my guy, right? Reading
Yeah.
Rainbow. That's
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
What's
Like
wrong?
he's a treasure in
Yeah.
my heart forever.
Right.
That's your second pick, my guy.
That's your second pick.
That's your second pick.
Hey, listen, I freed up some board space. You can play with the rest.
That's
all right.
tough. That's,
Right,
tough.
I
mean,
mean, say, look,
Hey, he
See,
meant a
look-
lot to me.
No,
all
no, no,
right?
and I
He
understand.
mean a
Like,
lot to me.
my thing is, if anybody votes for Steve during this portion of the podcast, and like that is kind of racist. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Like Steve should have 0 on the board.
Steve, that's nuts, Steve. I'm not gonna lie. I love shout out to Jordy.
That's a reach. That's a reach.
Shout out to Jordy LaForge, Steve.